All right. Oh, welcome
I think.
back to the Bonsai Movie Crew.
Welcome.
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 Everybody say welcomes. Everybody say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome
Hi.
back.
Hi.
You're
Anyway,
You're welcome.
you're welcome. You're welcome. For what? Because I'm here.
Yep.
Don't forget to check out our Twitter, our X, still a stupid name, Facebook, and of course our YouTube if you're looking at our pretty faces, and
it's
our,
not Twitter
our
at
Rumble.
all.
Did you know that I never apparently with our Rumble I never verified the account. I don't know if that
No,
matters.
I don't know.
I mean,
We're not.
I know like
verified.
nothing about Rumble.
What?
I don't either. I literally am only on there long enough to upload the video, and then that's it. I don't know anything about Rumble. I know nothing about it. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on our Rumble, I guess. I don't know how you even do that, honestly. Also,
I think all you can do
our-
is watch, right? On Rumble.
I don't know. I know you can look at your views and see how many you're monetized in some way. Like you get money for videos. I don't know how it works. I have no fucking clue.
Where's our money?
Oh, we're not making any money. We're not making any money. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube also. And give us some comments
How the fuck did you
and
get money?
all that good
Fuck,
stuff.
go get
how do
ice
we-
cream.
yeah.
Just take 2 hours a week, man.
Yeah. 2 hours. Shit. For
You know how much time I spent over the
For
weekend
you, maybe.
working
yeah.
on stuff.
I mean, like right now.
2 hours. Oh, 2 hours of your life to watch us talk about a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's
Before we
get
get
into our.
salty about it.
Yeah, we're getting really salt, man. You know? Let's get into our creator profile
Can
here.
you move the finger?
What? Oh, my bad.
There we go.
Move the
finger.
He needs to see the times.
I always click it and I just leave it sit there.
Do you want me to start now?
Yeah, creator profile. Here we go.
Creator profile. We're doing Keanu Reeves this week.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna figure out who he is in a second.
We all
What?
know who he is.
Okay,
Who is he?
you guys know who he is.
Who is Keanu Reeves?
Whoa.
Kiana.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Keanu.
Keanu.
Kiana.
It's Keanu.
It's
Keanu.
Kiana.
Keanu.
Keanu.
Eric, it's Kiana.
Keanu.
It's
Hmm.
a chick.
No, it's Keanu. We all know who Keanu Reeves is.
Kiana.
It's his twin sister.
He has a sister.
We are talking about his sister. Keanu Reeves was born September 2nd, 1964. Oh, he's old.
He doesn't look old.
He's
He's
still
like 60.
gorgeous.
He still looks like he's 25.
He's 59.
And it's still banging.
A lot of
Man,
actors look like
he was
they're
mom's
like
age.
25.
Yeah, I'd
How is
still
that
bang him.
possible? Like
He's old
Norman
enough for a
Reedus,
dad.
he doesn't look like he's 52.
I'll tell you what. I have
Nah.
I have a great story about that.
Yes.
When I was young, my mom, I used to talk about how gorgeous he was, like in Bill and Ted and stuff.
Mhm.
My mom would talk about how ugly he was.
Oh.
Okay, and then like time goes
As
by.
age.
Time goes by, right?
Mhm.
And like she starts seeing him in all these movies here lately or whatever. She starts talking about how gorgeous he is, and I'm like, "Hello,
Hello?
it's the same guy." And she's like, "Yeah, but he's hot now." And I'm like,
Eh,
What?
"He
looks the same.
the same guy, and he looks the same." No, he
he's
doesn't.
he's got a beard and everything now. He's got
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit
I mean,
more age to him.
I
He's a bit
guess.
grayer.
Same guy.
It's the longer hair, I think, maybe.
Sure.
Okay,
He had
anyway.
long hair then.
Oh, yeah, I guess he
He
did.
did.
Wow.
Keanu Reeves was born on September 2nd, 1964 in Beirut, Lebanon? Beirut?
Huh?
Beirut.
Lebanon.
Yeah, Lebanon.
Lebanon. And was raised in Toronto, Canada. He first gained attention for his performance in River's Edge, while the comedy Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and its sequel Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey bogus brought him some
What's funny about that?
I was like, what do you mean?
She's like giggle bogus.
It's just a silly
Beavis
word.
and Butthead.
Bogus. Bogus is a silly word.
You said unit.
No. Bogus is just a funny word. It's bogus. Bogus.
Quit jerking off my
Bogus.
van.
That's bogus.
God damn it. What did I tell you about jerking off in my van?
I'm so
Wait, I thought it was a shed.
No,
Oh,
it
no,
wasn't a
he-
shed. In the movie, it was his camper.
Yeah, his camper.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it-
That's
yeah,
right.
in the-
There
in
was
the
always a
show-
different
Yeah,
place
quit
every
In the
time.
show, it was
shed.
like his
Yeah.
shed. And everything.
Yeah. Quit beating off in my shed.
But
Yep.
what did I tell you about beating off in my tool shed? Like, what the fuck?
You do that pretty good.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey brought him major recognition. Reeves has developed an eclectic film roster that includes the action flick Speed and the sci-fi blockbusters The Matrix and its sequels, as well as more art house fare like My Own Private Idaho. That's how you pronounce that, right?
No, Idaho.
You can't call your daughter a hoe.
I can call her whatever I want.
That's it.
I gotta
He's
raise her
already
ass.
said whatever the fuck.
The private lives of Pipoli.
Huh?
Pipoli.
People?
The private lives of Pipoli.
Pippa Lee.
Oh,
Okay. Reeves made his directorial debut
Directorial.
in 2013 with The Man of Tai Chi. Sorry, excuse me.
Which was not very good.
Of Chinese Hawaiian
Well, you can't have all the talent.
Right?
of Chinese
He's not even that good of an actor, let's face it. He's just a really good dude. You know what I mean?
He has talents. They're just not in all of the movies he's done.
Right. He plays a good surfer, dude. He was awesome in Point Break. He
Oh,
played
yeah.
the role perfectly.
I think he does a good job in action.
Yeah, Point Break.
Well,
And I guess you could say The
John
Matrix.
Wick,
What about Speed?
Matrix.
I like him in John Wick just because he doesn't talk a lot.
I was gonna say that's why he's good in John Wick because he doesn't talk a
What
lot.
about Speed?
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
Well, it's because he's in LA. Cop.
Yeah, he's in L.A., yeah. So,
It's not that far off
Yeah.
the mark.
Oh,
so I don't know, yeah.
I love him. Don't get me wrong. He's
Yeah,
just,
I love
yeah.
Keanu. He's awesome.
Bam Sugar Dracula. I mean,
No.
you
No.
don't think he did
Oh,
no, he was
God,
terrible
no.
in Dracula.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, Dracula was not his. Same as like the
he's
devil.
trying to do like an English accent, like, so, I'm from England.
Same as the Devil's Advocate. He was in that.
I love that
He,
movie. though.
yeah, it's an awesome movie, but like he did not fit the role. Like a southern.
Yeah, he did the same thing. So, I'm from the southern states.
I'm from the South.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like what? No, you're not. You're obviously
a
from
little
like
bit from
right.
down south.
from California.
Yeah, he's not great in that, but it is definitely. Oh, I love that movie.
That and he also gave up part of his salary to get Al Pacino, so that's pretty awesome.
yeah.
He does that a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Of Chinese Hawaiian heritage on his geologist father's side, Reeves' first name translates from Hawaiian to English as Cool Breeze Over the Mountains. Reeves' mom worked in entertainment as a performer and later a costume designer. Upon his parents' split, the youngster moved with his mother and sister to New York and then Toronto. Reeves developed an ardor.
Can you read?
They're using fancy words.
Ardor. Ardour.
Ardor for hockey? Ardor?
Yeah, Ardor. It's like
A-R-D-O-R.
like a talent for it.
Okay, sure.
See, you don't even know what the word is.
Just say talent. He
It's
had
a word.
talent.
Developed a talent for hockey. Though he would eventually turn to acting, garnering TV roles, and making his big screen debut in the 1985 Canadian feature One Step Away. Reeves was featured in U.S.-oriented teen movies such as Youngblood, 1986, starring Rob Lowe and Patrick Swayze, and River's Edge,
Are you trying to get a movie role now? Like,
She's trying to get that southern acting role.
Yeah. That must be like
hey,
karma
I can do a
working.
southern accent. Hang on. No, not
No?
like that.
I can do it.
I can do it on cue too.
I can do it anytime.
I can do it too!
That's way overdone.
Sorry.
You sound like Goofy.
I did really good.
Way
Can
overdone.
you do it
I
without
do
being
good
so
stuff,
hyper?
yeah.
Can you do it without being so hyper?
No.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeehaw! I didn't marry my cousin. I didn't know she was my
cousin.
cousin anyway. Sorry. Well, there goes all of our southern listeners. Nice knowing you. Man, I married my cousin.
You better take her back down south, because that ain't okay up here.
Goddamn Ohioans think you're better than us Southerners.
Sure do.
All
We're
right,
only
keep
one
going.
state removed.
More television and film roles followed before Reeds joined the ensemble cast of the scandalous period drama Dangerous Liaisons.
Liaisons.
That's French, right?
Lasians. That's the Asians that are from the South.
What?
Leon. It's like the French Asian. Liaison.
Lasians.
Anyway, starring Glenn Close and John Malkovich.
That's what Cruel Intentions was based on. Dangerous Liaisons.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
The following year marked the release of a film for which the young actor would become associated with for quite some time. Yeah.
Bill and
Bill and
Ted's
Ted's
Excellent
Excellent
Adventure.
Who's reading?
Technically, we're all helping.
Yeah. I say we're kind of all reading.
Shh, Karen, you're supposed to be.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Did you just call her Karen?
I'm just enjoying the
Carrion?
show.
What's she talking
No, I didn't
about?
call
Keanu,
it
she got, you know,
Carrion.
got a mixed.
Carrion?
Carrion would be the wrong name.
I do
Get
kind
it
of like
right.
it though. Can we change it?
Carrion?
Carrion. I like Carrion, but you know, Karen's her real name, so.
I don't like that one.
I don't like carrying anything. It's too heavy.
Haha, you're funny. Starring Glenn Close. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Co-starring Alex Winter, the popular comedy followed two high school students and their time-traveling hijinks, eventually spawning a 1990 animated TV series and a 1991 movie sequel, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Though Reeves would often face criticism for his deadpan delivery and perceived limited range as an actor, he nonetheless took on roles in a variety of genres over the ensuing decade, doing everything from introspective art house fare to action-packed thrillers. I almost made it through that small paragraph without stuttering or messing up.
It's okay.
You can't even make it through a whole sentence just talking without messing up.
Calm down.
You are very much correct. I'm not going to lie.
All right, what do you...
No, stop!
Read the fucking...
I'm not done with it!
Oh.
So you haven't noticed her doing that every time she
She's
finishes
like,
a paragraph?
with it. Shit, I'm like, just read the
It
fucking
helps me
thing.
Focus!
Uncrumple the goose.
Oh my god.
She's really going to stutter now. She can't be able to read it.
It's all crumpled up. She's not gonna be able to read
God.
anything.
Just read the fufucking page.
Every crinkle is
Not
going to
even
be a
an
stutter.
apology, nothing.
No, nothing.
Spaz. They call me the spaz
Porky
pass.
pig.
Maybe it's you.
That's all, folks.
Keanu.
That's all, folks. My Own Private Idaho, 1991, directed by Gus Van Sant and co-starring River Phoenix, chronicled the lives of two young sex workers living on the streets. While Breakpoint, 1991, turned the actor into an undercover FBI agent who gets caught up in criminal lives of Point Break.
It's a Point Break.
Point Break.
That's what I said.
You said
You said Breakpoint.
You said Breakpoint.
Did I?
Yeah. So I was like, what? I didn't hear that movie. Then you
I didn't
started
catch it until
describing
you said something. I was
okay.
like, what?
I meant
Did they write Breakpoint?
No, it's
Oh,
Point Break.
okay.
I thought I said Point
No,
Break.
they've done that before. They're like, we be reading something, and then you read it, and you're like, that's not right.
Someone was dyslexic.
It happens. I'm gonna blame it on the crumple.
It is on the crumple, Dad, honestly. God.
Whatever.
How am I supposed to make an airplane out of this?
It'd be a really nice airplane.
Okay.
It's
Anyways.
the Hindenburg.
Turned the actor into an undercover FBI agent who gets caught up in the criminal lives of surfing bank robbers. Francis Ford Coppola. That's what I said.
Don't feel bad. I say Coppola.
Coppola?
all the time.
Coppola?
Yes.
Coppola's adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992, co-starring
To me, that's the worst.
Oh, yeah, for
The
sure.
worst for him.
co-starring Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder. Ooh, Winona, she plays in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
And-
doesn't do a very good job either.
No.
Oh, and Anthony
She's very.
Hopkins.
She's almost. Her performances might be worse actually than.
Yeah,
Keanu
she's
Reeves.
very wooden, and she doesn't even
Yeah.
try for an accent.
No, she doesn't. She's not good in that movie hardly at all.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman kills it though.
He always does.
Yeah.
Oh.
He really was Dracula. It's crazy.
I'm telling you, he could be playing. You could be Gary Goldman. You wouldn't even know.
I am Gary Oldman
Are you?
playing Joseph, playing Gary Oldman, playing Joseph.
I'm
I was gonna
adopted.
say, wait, you're not. I'm adopted.
By who though? Joseph or Gary Oldman?
Hope
My
for
whole
Gary Oldman.
life is a lie.
But is it though?
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
owed some serious money.
Yeah, you are. Gary Oldman's rich. If it's Gary
Can
Oldman,
You like
let me know. We'll hang.
Just
Hey,
keep
Dad.
reading. Come on.
Dad.
Come on. We got to
What
get this.
age?
Hey.
Hang on. What age do you think you're gonna die at? Just curious.
10 minutes from now.
Oh. Anyways, Winona Ryder and Anthony Hopkins saw Reeves embodying the calm resoluteness, I don't know, of character Jonathan Harker. 1994 saw the actor
I don't know what word she
starring
was trying to say.
opposite
Resoluteness.
Sandra
Oh.
Bullock in the hit action flick Speed, followed by work that included the romantic drama A Walk in the Clouds.
I never saw that
A
one.
Walk in the Clouds,
It's a romance.
1995. In the
why I
supernatural
never saw it.
thriller Devil's Advocate, 1997, co-starring Al Pacino.
Al
Al
Pacino.
Pacino.
Jesus.
And
She's
Char.
on a movie podcast?
She's learning.
Hey, I mean, how many
That's
names
what
have
I'm
I
here for. I'm
butchered
here
in
to
the
learn,
past?
Karen. Thank you. And Charlize
Charlize.
Charlize Theron.
Theron. That's
One of the
what I
most
said.
beautiful women ever.
You gonna crumple up my paper this time?
We're
Oh,
getting,
I
we're
thought you
getting
was
there.
reading At the close of the decade, Reeves starred in a sci-fi film that would become a genre game changer, The Matrix, directed by Andy and Lana
Wachowski.
Wachowski. The 1999 movie film Reeves followed Reeves as prophetic figure Neo, slated to lead humanity to freedom from an
What was that word
all-consuming
again?
simulated world.
Yeah.
Known for its
That's what she said.
She said prophetic.
Yeah, she was sounding it out. Give her.
Prophetic.
She said it.
known
Almost
for
Maybe
its,
she didn't say every single syllable, but basically she said it. Yeah.
We have.
known for its innovative fight sequences, avant-garde special
Avant.
She's
Avant-
giving all she's got.
avant-garde special effects and gorgeous fashion. The Matrix was an international hit. 2 sequels were filmed together and released in 2003 to a more mixed reception, though the second installment, The Matrix Reloaded, was a better financial blockbuster than its predecessor. Well, that's done. You can crumble it up now. I'm glad you don't want to crumble it up. Oh, he's folding it.
Continue.
He's finishing it.
Anyways,
I don't know if you realize this, but we got to get through a 3-hour movie here. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading as fast as I can.
no, you're not.
In summer 2019, 16 years after the release of the Matrix.
She's going so fast, she's skipping.
I think she entered the Matrix.
Skipping. Like a record.
In summer
that record player.
2019, 16 years after the release of The Matrix Reloaded,
Somebody
it was
shoot that turkey.
announced that a 4th film in the franchise was in the works, with Reeves set to return as Neo. Even with mainstream success, Reeves continued working in different genres, as seen with his roles as an abusive man in The Gift 2000.
That was a good movie.
Was it?
Directed by Sam Raimi.
That is the first time I ever saw him play a bad guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Starring Kate Blanchett,
And he did really well with that one, actually.
a smitten doctor, and Something's Gotta
Such a
Give,
good guy,
2003, opposite
Yeah.
Diane Keaton and Britt Demon Hunter in Constantine, 2005. Reeves returned to sci-fi as an alien Klaatu?
Klaatu.
Klaatu. In the 2008 remake of the classic The Day the Earth Stood Still, co-starring Jennifer Connelly
Yeah.
and Jaden Smith. See, Smith is a normal American last name that I can't understand. Smith.
Yeah, but Jaden
Almost
Smith
every-
isn't a normal American. That dude is a little off.
Well,
Oh.
when you're raised by two uber rich parents and
Who are
don't have
dipshits too.
don't have to learn about the real world.
Right.
The following decade saw the actor making his directorial debut with The Man of Tai Chi, 2013. Martial arts-based themes continued in Reeves' next feature, The Wild... Are you yawning right now?
No.
It was followed in 2014 by
Who would
more
yawn?
critically well-received John Wick,
I
co-starring
do all the
William
time.
Dafoe and John
Willem.
Leguizamo.
Willem Dafoe.
What did I say?
William.
What'd you guys call him that one time?
Yeah, we fucked up that one
We should
time.
call him
was
that
me.
from
In
now
its sequel,
on.
John Wick Chapter 2, 2017, after co-starring with Winona Ryder and the rom-com Destination Wedding, 2018, Reeves faced a busy 2019 with the release of the sci-fi thriller replicas, A Return to Action Fair, and John Wick 3 Parabellum,
Parabellum, yeah.
a supporting role in the Netflix rom-com Always Be My
Richard.
Maybe, and his entry into a major animated franchise as the voice of stuntman Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4. Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
Okay. In 1999, Reeves and his girlfriend Jennifer
Oh, this
Sure.
is so sad.
Sim?
Yeah.
I think it's Sign, but
Oh,
not
Syme
sure.
had a daughter, Ava Archer Syme Reeves. Okay. Born 8 months stillborn. Oh.
yeah.
The loss of their
Yeah.
daughter devastated the couple and caused the end of their relationship. Dang, that got dark fast.
Yeah.
It's not over.
Yeah, it's not over.
Oh, 2 years later, Jennifer was involved in a fatal car. Oh my god!
Told you it wasn't over.
In a fatal car accident where she rammed into 3 cars and was thrown out of her vehicle. It was later reported that she was on antidepressant medication. Hang on. I need a second to load that into my brain.
Yeah.
He had a
Pretty
rough
shit.
It was
couple
pretty- it
years.
was
Yeah,
pretty
he
bad.
did.
Other interests. His artistic aspirations not limited to film. Reeves co-founded the band Dogstar in the early 1990s. Dogstar enjoyed modest success, releasing 2 albums during Reeves' decade-long run as its bass player. He later played bass for a band called Becky for about a year. Reeves is also a longtime motorcycle enthusiast after asking designer Gard Hollinger
Sure.
to create a custom-built bike for him. The two went into business together with the formation of Arc Motorcycle Company LLC in 2011. I don't know why I almost said 19. Reported to be one of the more generous actors in Hollywood, Reeves helped care for his sister during her lengthy battle with leukemia and has supported such organizations as Stand Up to Cancer and PETA. PETA.
PETA.
PETA.
Yeah.
PETA.
Animal control. Yeah, pretty much.
Ew.
Animal rights activists.
In August 2018, while promoting Destination Wedding with Ryder, Winona Ryder, okay, Reeves seemed... I'm not done yet.
Go short.
Did you make an airplane?
No.
Damn.
He made a bomb.
Just hurry up. You're almost done.
I am almost done. I have like 1 sentence left. Reeves seemed surprised to learn that he may be legally married to his co-star. Ryder said it was the result of filming their wedding scene for Dracula, as a real Romanian priest had conducted a full marriage ceremony. Oh my god, they're married?
Allegedly.
On accident? Do they even
Allegedly.
like each other?
Allegedly.
Technically, they didn't have a marriage license or anything.
Yeah, so it's not legally binding.
Oh, okay. Well, that's that.
All right.
But under the Almighty's eyes.
And all of his charity work, he never promotes it. It's always found out by someone else. 'Cause
Yeah.
he never talks about it.
Yeah.
Then how he's
And that's
supposed
just-
to raise money for it?
He
He
gives his
donates,
own
he
money.
donates, he
money
donates
to
his
it.
own money.
Oh, okay.
He gives a lot of money
Gives
away
a
to
lot of
money away.
organizations. But so does Samuel L. Jackson. He does the same thing. He promotes like almost 60 different organizations that he doesn't brag about or nothing.
Right.
But Keanu Reeves has done a lot aside
Good.
from what you just heard. A lot of good.
A
Yeah.
lot of good.
This dude is, I mean,
That's why he gets so much work,
Yeah.
because he earns it by being a good person.
a good fucking person. People's like, yeah, let's put Keanu Reeves in this movie. Why? Because people like him. Because
Yeah.
he's a good dude.
Yeah.
That's why.
Like, we may laugh about it, but he makes really good movies, and he's a good person, and I'll watch anything he's in.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I don't care.
I agree. Anyway, let's move on. What's everybody been watching this week?
What the hell have you been watching?
Let's start with Karen.
Robot Chicken, Pearl, Forensic Files 2, Evil Lives Here, Whose Line Is It Anyway, and Tetsuo. That was the Joe Bob movie.
Tetsuo. All right, Eric, what you been watching, son?
So I watched. Let's see here. Vacation Friends.
I've seen that with John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Kendra watched that over the weekend.
They got a sequel to that coming
It's
out.
coming out this Friday. And then I watched Balls of Fury.
That's hilarious.
That's a good movie. Yeah. All right, Madison, what you been watching, man?
I watched Shameless and a couple episodes of Supernatural. On my
I got
time,
a
not with
Supernatural
you.
cookbook.
Is it cool?
It's my first wedding gift
Oh,
from
cool.
Lindsay. And, yeah, it's awesome.
I watched.
Sugar cake.
It's all these recipes from, like, you know, the show.
Mhm.
Like, different things that happened in the show and, like, inspired by, you know, like, they go to diners and stuff like that. But, like, there's in the dessert, there's obviously pudding.
Oh, pudding.
Anyway.
Pudding.
Thanks, Lindsay, if you're listening.
I haven't watched anything. I watched
You watched Supernatural.
Supernatural, a couple episodes of that. I watched a couple of episodes of Invincible. And
Did you ever finish watching Rick and Morty?
I finished that a long time ago.
Oh.
Other than that, I think that's all I've watched. I haven't watched anything. I've been sitting on my computer since like Thursday playing Wayfinder, trying to anyway. It says on my Steam account that I've got like 20 hours in the game, but really I've only got like 2 hours in the game because
He sits in
18
queues for
is
hours
just, like,
upon hours.
sitting at the
figuring
login. No, the other 18 is sitting at the login screen trying to get
Oh.
into the game. So I was pretty pissed off for a few days, and now it's just waiting in a queue behind like 10 to 15,000 people for like an hour and a half to get into the game. So it's awesome, but it's a good game. I love it, and that's why I wait. So I'm a patient person sometimes.
As we all laugh.
Yeah.
Are you?
Hey, you
I
wearing an Orion shirt? I was just there.
Yeah.
We said this last week.
We did?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't there last week.
Yeah.
I was already there, so.
Cool. Anyway.
Isn't that cool, Eric?
Sure.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Let's talk about the movie now.
Let's talk about the movie.
2819.
All right. So anyway, this week we watched The Batman from 2022, or is it 2020?
2022.
2022.
Starring Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Colin Farrell. Who's Commissioner Gordon? I can't remember his name.
Hold, please. Your call is very important to me.
The dude that plays the Penguin plays
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright. Yeah.
John Turturro is Carmen Falcone.
Yep. What?
The guy that plays Penguin. The guy does he play the fucking cop? What's his name? One over top Gordon.
No. The guy who plays the Penguin is Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it seemed
He's
like
just he's in a fat suit and a
seemed
lot
like
of prosthetics.
The two guys that played the Penguin, the other guy sounded so much alike.
They look a lot alike
And a lot
too.
of-
Yeah,
looked a
yeah.
lot alike.
I
Yeah.
still don't
With their
understand why they
makeup
didn't
and
just have
stuff.
Richard Kind play the Penguin if that's what the look they were going for.
Should have had.
Because they
Danny
had
DeVito
Colin
come back.
Farrell instead. I guess they had Colin Farrell money.
He could have played Carmine.
Yeah, true.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just don't.
Or anything else.
Yeah, or anything else.
Yeah.
Literally anything else. Any other big bad or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
that was a lot of wasted makeup and time. And
Anyway,
Maybe he didn't do it. Maybe they didn't want to bring that guy in. Or that guy didn't want to come in.
I doubt it. If it's
Yeah, I
Matt
doubt it.
Reeves in a Batman movie, somebody throws a role at you like that, you're like, yeah, I'll do that.
yeah,
Um,
shit.
Is Matt Reeves and Keanu Reeves related?
No.
I don't think so.
All right, let's go. Let's find out. Would you guys watch, recommend again? Blah blah blah. Eric.
Yeah, I'd watch again, and I'd recommend it. I mean, well, it's not like one of my top tier movies, but
Right.
it's a good watch.
Okay. Karen.
Second watch for me, I'd watch again. I'd recommend.
Okay.
I hope to God I don't have to sit through this movie again.
This is your second time too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I would recommend it to people who watch Batman.
Yeah,
And like
I would
Batman.
definitely recommend this movie, and I would totally watch it again. It is a long movie. It's 3 hours.
It is.
It's a lot to sit through. We're gonna get
That
into
is
some
definitely
of
the biggest drawback of
Yeah,
it.
it is a big drawback because we're gonna get into it, but I think there's some things that could have been shaved out of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Or they could have put
Ma-
it in the next movie.
well, you got to think in this movie there's two separate storylines, and I think that the one storyline could have been shaved down quite a bit. Like the whole thing with. We'll get into it.
Yeah,
we'll get into it.
Yep.
Anyway, so from here on, do you want to read the synopsis? Let's just read
There's
the
a lot
movie.
of
Yeah,
slow
let's just
points
get
in
into the movie.
From here, there's a lot of spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, do yourself a service and go watch the movie. It's if you have
Or about
HBO
3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours. Or
Or-
if you want to split it up into two, you can watch half and half.
3.5 if
Or
there's
we
bathroom
explain the
breaks.
whole
Yeah.
story right here.
And
Or you listen to this. It doesn't matter. I
We'll
don't care
try
either
and have
way.
this done in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I'll shave an hour.
Just
for
so
you.
you're aware, though, spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, it's on Max. You can go watch it right now
for free.
well,
With a
sort
subscription.
of with a subscription. I mean, you can watch
Not
it for
for
free if you want. If you got the right websites, I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right.
We
so-
do not condone that.
No.
Just saying.
Of course not.
But
Neither do I.
He doesn't. On Halloween night, during his second year as a vigilante, Batman confronts a group of thugs harassing a man in a subway station. As the thugs encourage a gang initiate to knock out the innocent commuter, Batman steps out of the shadows and I can't talk either. Subdues them.
It's today.
Yeah, it must be about today.
because it's Tuesday.
Batman leaves the initiate unharmed as he had stayed clear of the brawl and attempted to de-escalate. Cowed the thugs and initiate run off. That's a weird word to use there. Despite his rescue, the victim begs Batman not to hurt him. Batman sees the bat signal lit in the sky. Shortly thereafter, Batman is summoned by Lieutenant Gordon via the bat signal to help with the investigation of the murder of Gotham's mayor, Don Mitchell Jr., the first major casualty of the serial killer soon to be known as the Riddler. While investigating the mayor's murder and the cipher left behind by the killer, Batman and Lieutenant Gordon discover a thumb drive. The drive contains incriminating pictures of the mayor with a bruised and beaten mystery woman. The picture also links the mayor to a notorious gangster known as the Penguin, and a popular club known as the Iceberg Lounge. Batman infiltrates the lounge in order to get to the Penguin and interrogate him about the woman in the pictures. While the Penguin has no useful information, Batman does encounter Selena Kyle, a waitress, who Batman notices eavesdropping suspiciously. After interrogating the Penguin, Batman follows Catwoman home in his drifter disguise. Peering into her apartment, he witnesses her comfort the mystery woman and then suit up as Catwoman. Batman tails Catwoman to the Mitchell townhouse where she
It
breaks
says
in.
suit up, but really he just watched her undress and get dressed in a really kinky outfit.
I mean, that's pretty
Sound like a pretty good
Catwoman.
day for him.
Yeah.
And just so you're aware, like, this is one thing I was thought was kind of funny about it. Like, somebody could just do that to him and know who he is.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Technically,
I'd be
they-
like stalking Bruce Wayne today. Holy shit, he's Batman.
But he goes into like the Batcave,
Right.
and it's kind of hard to watch somebody.
I
do
guess.
that underground.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you followed him, because it doesn't look like any other Batman movies. You see, like Batman goes into a rock wall and it shuts down real quick. But this one, he just drives into a subway. You could just literally follow him down the subway.
Yep.
Oh yeah, did it close at all? I
No.
don't remember. Seeing it
Yeah, there
close.
was one gated area, but
Oh,
still,
yeah.
though, what's to stop you from getting past
Yeah.
that
That's true.
gate? And his cave wasn't very cavey either. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, it was just a subway, which I kind of thought was neat.
I think it was
It
a subway
brings a
that
realism.
left underneath Wayne Manor.
Yeah,
Probably,
I just
yeah.
thought it was kind of neat. It brought a realism to it. That
It definitely seemed
know.
more realistic and a little more practical. And also, I thought it was kind of a nice deviation away from what we normally have seen, like
Mhm.
with always being in a cave.
well, there's a lot of deviations that I think brings a
Just
lot of real.
More of a grounded,
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
grounded to the, yeah.
To the Mitchell townhouse where she breaks in and cracks a safe inside. Batman confronts Catwoman believing she is the mayor's killer. Batman and Catwoman tussle until a cop walks by on patrol and they cease fighting to hide. After the cop leaves, Catwoman reveals her goal to retrieving her friend Annika's passport, which Mitchell had confiscated prior to his death. Batman decides to team up with a reluctant Catwoman to discover more about the corruption among Gotham's elite. Selina leads the way back to her apartment where she finds Annika and her phone missing and her apartment overturned. The TV is still on and playing the news channel, and Batman and Catwoman watch as the Riddler publicly claims responsibility for the mayor's murder and reveals his next victim, Police Commissioner Pete Savage, who he has kidnapped. The commissioner is shown conscious and trapped in a large helmet made from an elaborate rat cage, implying that he dies when the rats eat through his face. Selina recognizes the commissioner from the hidden mob hangout within the Iceberg Lounge 44 Below, and explains that Savage and other Gotham elite visit the club regularly. Page 2.
Page 2. After examining the dead body of Pete Savage and discovering a new message from the Riddler, Batman decides to pay a visit to the Joker in Arkham State Hospital. Did anybody watch this version of it?
Which one?
The one where he visits the Joker in Arkham State. Maybe I just missed this part.
No, I
Did
didn't
you not
that
see
one.
this?
I didn't see.
You didn't see
where
that?
He visited the.
I thought, because I know I saw this before, where he visits the Joker.
I think it was originally, because I remember seeing it the first time I watched it. It was like at the end. It was like a at the after credit thing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't there this time.
It wasn't there at all this time, which is weird because both times I've seen this movie, it was both times it was on Max.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm
That's what
like, why
saying.
is it different?
That's what I'm saying. Because the first time I remember seeing it as
Yeah.
an after credit thing where he goes and he talks to the Joker.
Well,
But you don't see his face.
No, it was in the middle of the
it was
movie.
in the middle
Was
of the
it?
movie,
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Did you guys see that part?
I seen
in
it
this
the
one?
first time because
Yeah,
You
and I
might be
didn't
right,
see it
but
this time.
I remember him talking to the Joker, and you
Yeah.
don't clearly see
Yeah,
his
you don't
face.
see his face clearly. No,
So I do remember that part. I didn't see it this time.
I didn't see it this time.
The
Okay,
only
I was.
time I seen it. This one was when the Riddler was talking to the Joker.
Yeah,
Mhm.
when the Riddler.
yeah, whenever I was reading over this, it's like I don't remember that part this time. I was
No,
like,
I
I
don't
remember
know.
it from before though.
Mm-hmm.
So it was weird. Yeah. So depending on what version, I guess you watch. I don't know if there's
But
a
We
Max,
own
so
it, but
it's-
we watched it on Max because it's it's there.
yeah. Both times I watched it on Max. The first time
Yeah.
I remember seeing the Joker,
Joker.
in it.
Yeah, we watched it on Max.
and then I
both
watched
times.
it this time on Max, and it wasn't there. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Anyway, he decides to pay a visit to Joker in Arkham State Hospital. During the consultation, Joker reveals how Riddler is a nobody who wants to be somebody, and how his motives are very personal, along with telling Batman how similar he is to Riddler, claiming both of them to be masked Avengers. Batman is told by Joker that he speculates his fear over the Riddler's killings is how they're not actually wrong, and how his victims deserve what came to them. Okay, I don't like this red print.
I know.
Yeah, it's fucking me up.
Yeah, it's fucking me up a little bit. After Selina Kyle informs
Whose
Batman...
idea was this?
Huh?
I said, whose
I ran out
idea
of
was
black
It
ink,
was
this?
his
man.
printer's idea. Okay?
Yeah, I ran out of
yeah.
black ink. I was like, well, I don't have any black, but I've got other colors. After Selina Kyle informs Batman about 44 Below, Batman tells her to go there and investigate, giving her his advanced contact lens. So
Badass.
yeah, so he can see everything she sees. While investigating, Selina runs into District Attorney Gil Coulson and finds out that he is a Carmine Falcone's payroll, as were Don Mitchell Jr. and Pete Savage before they died. Selina bumps into Carmine Falcone while trying to leave, exchanging uncomfortable small talk while Batman looks on. Batman presses Selina on her relationship with Falcone, but she refuses to tell and cuts ties with him. Wayne decides to go to the funeral of Don Mitchell Jr., assuming that Riddler would be there. This marks one of the few times he is seen in public as Bruce Wayne. Wayne runs into Carmine Falcone, who is rarely in the public. The pair exchange a few tense words about Thomas Wayne before heading into the church. Wayne, this is one thing that I loved about this movie, is you rarely see him as just Bruce Wayne. It's just the Batman the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome. I love that. It's just the Batman doing,
It's because it's before he's realized that, Bruce has his, upsides. Like there's upsides to being Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, right.
Like,
and
he has his uses.
Yeah, he's got his uses as Bruce Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
the big playboy.
Right now, he's still pissed and moody and.
Yeah, he's still going through his emo stage.
See, I don't like that. I don't like that term, but we'll get into all that.
I wrote
We'll
that
get
down.
in
I said Bruce looks emo because whenever he said
he did
"You're
look it. He
Yeah.
did look it. I'll give you that.
he
He's
said
broody.
he said
Broody.
"You're not
Broody.
my father," and all I could think was "Arow."
You're
not my
my
father.
dad.
You're not my dad. Now, can I go get the new Hawthorne Heights album?
Took him my allowance or what?
Yeah, can I buy allowance or what? Wayne listens to a bitter spectator at the funeral claim that Mitchell had it coming. But Bella Rail?
Rail.
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 Rail?
Rail.
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 It's rail.
Rail.
Rail. Crayola?
Where
Sure.
did you get
Rayola?
that
Yep,
from?
that's it.
Rail. You think she likes to be railed?
I knew we were going there.
A candidate for the upcoming Gotham election interrupts and claims Bruce's attention. Wayne walks with her, and she addresses Bruce's lack of philanthropic outreach. Sorry, that is a tough word.
It takes a minute.
Yeah, outreach in comparison to his parents before going to pay her respects. Wayne then looks at Mitchell's son, empathizing with him before he hears Jim Gordon telling Chief Mackenzie Bach that Gil Colson is missing. Martinez notices and waves at Wayne, who ignores him. Screams are then heard and the roaring of an engine. Wayne looks up and sees a mysterious figure, presumably the Riddler. Why do they call him the Riddler here? Presumably Riddler. I guess would it be the Riddler or Riddler? I would
It's
say
always the Riddler.
Well, in this they just call him Riddler.
Yeah, it's the Riddler. They messed up.
Well, they keep calling him Riddler in every other, except for this right here where it says the Riddler, which isn't capitalized either. So I'm like, why are they referring to him as the Riddler without capitalizing the...
See, in all of mine, it's the Riddler.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, sorry. Fucking grammar Nazi over here. Presumably the Riddler watching from the balcony. A car then crashes into the church and Wayne tackles Mitchell's son to get him out of danger. Gordon orders the driver to get out, and it is revealed to be Coulson behind the wheel holding a cell phone. Gordon lowers his gun, but someone screams that he's wearing a bomb, and the church is evacuated. That night, Batman arrives at the church to answer the Riddler's phone call. He takes the tape off of Coulson's mouth and answers the call. Riddler, see here, they just call him Riddler. Riddler tells Batman, and then they call him Batman, not the Batman. So I don't know. I'm confused. You guys need to make up your minds. Riddler tells Batman that...
Well, mine is always Batman.
Well,
There's
it
no
should
the
be just
Batman.
Batman, just like it should be just Riddler, if that's his name. I'm not going around calling you the Karen,
Why not?
or the Eric, or the
Why
Madison.
not?
What?
I could, if you guys want me to refer to you that way.
Hey, he answered to it.
Hey, the
Well,
Karen.
Like, we are, like, because we are that awesome. So,
Exactly.
like, you're the Joseph, right?
You're the dad.
I'm the man.
No.
No, we're not going to go there.
She said,
Whoa, let's go ahead and stop
All right,
that.
we're pumping the brakes.
Yeah, let's stop that train right there. Okay, so
Stop
Riddler
it,
tells
Zero.
Batman that he has been trying to reach him and that Batman is a part of his plans. Riddler begins a live stream of the interaction between him, Batman, and Coulson to many of his followers as well as the public. Riddler tells Coulson that if he can answer 3 riddles in 2 minutes, he will provide the combination to unlock the bomb from his neck. Batman helps Coulson answer the first 2 questions, but when the Riddler, see here they call him the Riddler again, the Riddler asks Coulson to give the name of the informant who ratted out Maroni to the Gotham City Police Department. Coulson refuses to tell. Coulson claims that if he tells, he and his family would be killed. But if he does not tell, he alone will die, and his family would be spared. The bomb explodes, and Batman is knocked unconscious by the blast and subsequently arrested.
Can you imagine, like, the climate of that city? Because when I watched it this time, I was kind of blown away by the brutality of the Riddler.
Right.
Like, when I watched him this time, I couldn't see anything but a serial killer. I couldn't see anything but, like, a creepy serial killer, somebody that I would be terrified
Yeah,
of.
that's
Yeah.
not. See, that's kind of what I thought of it too. I didn't see the Riddler in this as. Normally, the Riddler isn't much of a. I mean, he kills, but he's not a big killer. Like
Mhm.
he's more or less. He loves fucking with Batman.
Yeah. It's
He
games.
likes. Yeah, it's about games for him, and he's not a big killer. Though he has killed people.
Yeah.
But in this, he's just straight up murdering people.
Yeah.
and
I
there's not
remember-
much to his riddles.
Like, the first time I
And
watched
just leaving
this...
cues.
Yeah, the first time I watched this, I didn't think much about that. But this time I watched it, and I was kind of just... That's all I saw, was just this brutal serial killer. And can you imagine how bad that city must be for him to have followers that are watching this live?
I know,
And going,
yeah.
they're rooting for this guy.
yeah, right. What
Like-
kind of climate that? Yeah, I know.
What
you're
kind of
saying.
climate that city must be in to produce
Yeah, what
people,
kind of state it's in
to
yeah.
produce people that are going, yeah, I'm voting for that guy. Like, I want that
Yeah,
guy
I
to
want
win.
this guy. Yeah. So
Like, I want that guy to kill
the
that
weird
guy.
thing about this is well, let me ask you this: do you like this iteration of the Riddler?
I do.
So I like him. He's brutal. He's not as campy and goofy, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Mhm.
Because before, like in most,
It was just like another Joker, but like with
He
Riddler.
gives-
well,
he
in
gives
in
a
way.
depth to the
he
character
gives more
that's
depth.
never been
That's
there
one of the
before.
best things about Batman, though, is his rogues gallery. Is like his whole rogues gallery of villains is they're
And-
just so well done, and that's the best thing about Batman.
Yeah.
The Joker is one of my favorite villains of all time.
Because he's always had a lot of depth. And
He's always had a lot of depth, and you don't know
Yeah.
shit about him.
And some of the villains have had a lot of depth,
Yeah.
but the Riddler's always been one that's lacking that.
Yeah,
And this has done that for him.
yeah, and I like that. So it gives him more of a background, more of a motivation,
Mhm.
and things like that. So, granted, the motivation's kind of dumb, and in the end, you're like, okay,
Yeah,
like,
you're left
you're
wanting
dumb.
when you find
Yeah.
out why. But like I mean, I just watched this time around, and even before I found out like their kind of background of how they kind of came up with the character, I was already thinking like that. I don't want to go into it yet, but
Yeah.
like I was already thinking like that. I was already thinking about, especially when he said, the Riddler here. I was thinking,
He's like the Riddler here.
Yeah, I was
and
thinking-
the way he throws his voice and his like you can tell it's behind a mask, and
yeah,
and that is really awesome. Instead of like this goofy, kind of corny,
Yeah.
nerdy guy who's
The way he
always
has to
excited.
calm himself down when
Yeah.
he goes from one extreme
Yeah.
to the next.
Yeah, and I like that. I think it's cool that he uses a mask.
hmm and that
The
whole getup was
execution,
just
yeah.
so
It's very intimidating.
yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Like that first kill is almost like the first kill of the movie with the mayor is
Should we stop though? Like, let her read. Like, I didn't want to go too far into. I just
well,
wanted to say
so this didn't say anything about the mayor killing
oh yeah, but like him
because that's like
coming
the
out of the
very
darkness like
that's
that.
the very first thing.
Yeah.
It almost comes off to start out like a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So,
I
but then
remember
again, this is based on the Long Halloween,
Yes, it is.
which is very much almost a horror comic book.
it really is.
It's-
It really
it's very
is.
dark.
It's very good though.
So,
It's very good.
but yeah, go ahead.
Still unconscious. Hey, look, it's my turn to read again.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyways,
Buckle in.
Oh.
still unconscious,
I'll have a
Batman is taken to Gotham City Police Headquarters where
Don't
they
go
attempt to
ludicrous.
unmask him, but he wakes up and fights off a few officers. Mackenzie Bach confronts him, but Batman lashes out. Jim Gordon attempts to restrain him and de-escalates the fight. He asks Bach to talk to Batman alone, to which Bach consents, giving Jim 2 minutes to get Batman to cooperate. Gordon gives Batman a key and tells him how to get to the roof and escape from GCPD. Gotham City Police Department.
What? What? No way.
Whole lottie freaking
Yeah, right. I don't have them.
Batman punches Gordon to make it look like he had no involvement and runs to the staircase. Batman grapples up to the roof with the cops in hot pursuit. Pursuit?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was pursue or pursuit.
No, it's persuasion.
Oh, okay. Persuasion. And hot persuasion.
Not persuasion. Ooh.
This is a different movie now.
It's a different movie now. Just
think-
changing one
I
word.
think, Dad, I think we downloaded the
Brown
wrong
chicken,
Batman.
brown cow.
When he reaches the roof, Batman hesitates at the height before putting on his wingsuit and leaping from the building.
Dude, that part where he jumps off that building and he's like, just like, oh
And then
my
he
God.
hits,
And he
like,
hits. I'm like,
ah!
damn.
Yeah,
Like,
you can tell he doesn't do that often.
Yeah, you could tell it's like this is very early in his like career as Batman because like everything
The
else,
balls that it took.
Yeah, oh my God, dude. I would have rather just arrest me.
Yeah.
Arrest me. I'm not, yeah, no. Like he could have
All
splatted.
right, I give up.
He could have just splatted right into a building.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
And it would have been
death.
over.
Yeah, that's it. That's the end of Batman.
Yeah, he didn't even have
Movie
any
over.
practice with that or anything.
He did. Like, and
Went
then he
right in.
released his like parachute right as he was going under the bridge. Why
Like
would you
an
do that?
idiot.
Why would you do that? Wait till you get
Realistic
through
Batman.
the bridge.
No, don't wait till
Done.
you get to the bridge,
The
'cause then
end.
that would be too late.
No,
You'd
before- after the bridge.
before the bridge. Before you're over the bridge, so you slow down and you like land at least on the bridge instead of under the
How do you
bridge.
practice something like that, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's kind of common sense. He's supposed to be
He's-
smart.
He's rich. I mean,
Yeah, I know, but like, where do you practice?
good question.
You know what I mean? Like,
Find a mountain and hope you don't die. At least there ain't buildings in a mountain.
I just
You could always go to one of those places where they practice skydiving.
This must have been before he got a hold of Lucius Fox. Because Lucius Fox was the one
No.
who made all
not
this.
not in this iteration. Lucius wasn't in the Long Halloween and all those iterations of. That was just the Dark Knight.
He needed
the
him.
Dark Knight series.
He needed Lucius Fox.
I was not a fan of the Lucius Fox stuff.
No?
Mm-mm.
I liked it because it was somebody that made his gadgets for him.
I didn't like that. I like this iteration where he had a car.
That he
Oh, his
made.
car was badass.
That's what
dude.
I'm saying. I like like Adam West and this. He has a car, an actual car. I like that.
Yeah,
I don't like
do
that,
too.
in the Dark Knight he's got a fucking
Tank.
tank
Ah, it's
that
pretty much a
nobody
tank,
else
yeah.
can get.
Yeah, it's pretty much a tank.
Like I like that he found, a car,
A Batmobile.
souped it up, and that's his
we're gonna
car.
get into that because I've got questions. So,
I might have
I mean-
answers.
well, I'm talking about like questions like preference questions.
Ah. Gotcha. Anyway,
Although his chute catches on a bridge and he glides right into a bus, Batman is not heavily injured and manages to limp away. I don't know how he's not injured, but okay.
He's Batman.
So?
that's the only answer you need.
He's Batman.
Okay. I'll believe you this time. Having
No,
translated,
he's vengeance.
having
Oh,
translated,
that's right. It's not Batman. He's
That's
Vengeance.
one thing I don't like is like I'm vengeance. Like, come on.
I actually kind of like that.
If that was his name, but it's not his
I
name.
do like because
Come on,
you've heard
Vengeance, let's go.
I'm Batman 7,000
You know,
times. When he
sure.
walked out
At
and he
the
was
end
like,
of-
"I'm vengeance," it was kind of like, okay,
the
that's a
end-
nice break from the norm.
Yeah.
At the end, with the other Riddler lackey was like, "I'm vengeance." I started laughing.
Dick.
That's probably why Batman beat the shit out.
Yeah, he did. You can't take my line.
BAM! Having translated the Riddler's cipher within the rat trap used to kill Pete Savage. Oh, he's a savage now, is he? Anyways. Batman's next clue is the phrase, "You are El Rata Alada," which translates roughly into English as the winged rat. Batman suspects that the Penguin is the winged rat they are looking for. Why didn't he think it meant Batman?
That's what I thought. Like, the first thing that would come to my mind is Batman, a
Mhm.
bat.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
a winged rat. People refer to bats as winged rats.
It's sort of one of those tropes where they have to have some amount of stupidity even
I
in the
guess, man,
smart
because
people.
I would not think, oh, yeah, a penguin. No, I think a bat.
Mhm.
Like, that's exactly what I would think.
And we're dumb Americans. I mean,
Yeah, and you're Batman, the world's greatest detective. Whatever.
Well, he had Alfred that was really the.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
greatest-
Alfred
Yeah,
was really the
Alfred was a
detective.
smart
it
one.
really was.
He,
though.
he
Him and
just took the
computer-
credit. Alfred's like, "Here's the answer," and he's like, "Yeah, I know what the answer is."
I know what the
He
answer is.
came up with
He's
Yeah,
walking up to
Alfred
Gordon
and the
like,
computer.
hey, it means this.
Pick me.
What was it again? He wrote it on his palm like, it means a
It
winged
means
penguin.
Elrada penguin. Yeah, that's what my wrist says. I mean, what my mind is. Shut up. The penguin is the ring rat that they were looking for. Jim Gordon agrees that it is possibly and asks Batman how he wants to do it. Ask how Batman wants to do it. They try to stake out Penguin's drug deal involving drops, but Catwoman complicates the situation after showing up to steal Falcon's drug money. Batman revs up his Batmobile and chases after the Penguin.
And
after
one of the
escaping
best
Penguin.
fucking scenes of this
Dude,
movie.
I love when
That-
he's like, "I got you, I got you, I got you," and then he just fucking flies.
Yeah, he's
through
like, I
those
got
flames.
you, and he's like, oh, and I was
hell
like,
was
yeah.
that?
Dude, that went from 0 to like Fast and Furious in like a
Dude,
second.
I love.
Don't call it Fast
I
and Furious
fucking
because
love
it
that
is way
Batmobile.
better than that.
Oh, for
I was
sure.
way
just-
better.
I was
What,
just-
what would you think if you were Penguin and you just see this flaming car just
Oh,
coming
I
up?
bet he shit his pants.
Oh,
I
man.
would. I would.
I bet he
I
shit
mean-
his pants.
I just love how
He's
he's
not
like,
the
"I
Batman,
got
he's
you."
the devil.
He's so sure of it. He's
Like,
like,
"I got you,
I
I got
got
you."
you," and then that fucking car just.
And
He
it's
was like-
funny because that was one of the things you saw in the advertisement for the movie in the trailer. And you
and
saw it
it
100
still
times.
gets you.
But in the movie, watching, you're like, dude, it had such a bigger punch.
And I loved how like when he finally like landed in his car and he's upside down and he sees Batman coming to him upside down.
Yeah,
I was like, how cool
Dude,
is
that looked like
yeah,
a
him walking
horror
up there
movie.
and they're playing that music like dun dun dun,
Which sounds like the Imperial March.
it does.
Like I was sitting there and I was like, you hear the Imperial March? Because I do. Like it's just slowed down.
I was waiting for Dark Helmet to come
Yeah,
out.
right.
Dude, he leaned down and it was just like a horror movie.
Well, and he's upside down, which is very reminiscent of a bat
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
bats are upside down in the
Mhm.
caves and stuff. So that it was just kind of neat to me that he's hanging upside down in his car, which makes it look like Batman is upside down coming towards him, which I thought was kind of interesting. Anyway,
Poetic justice, baby.
yeah.
There was a lot of poetic justice in this movie. After staying close on Penguin's tail, Penguin tries to shoot through the Batmobile's windows to no avail. Batman is then forced to veer left to avoid a truck, but he gets back on his tail in the opposite line of traffic and gains on the Penguin with the help of the Batmobile Afterburner. I didn't know that had a name. The Penguin causes a crash in Batman's path to try and lose him, but Batman is able to ride up one of the truck's ramps and soar right through the flames to Penguin's
That was luck.
dismay.
Not there was luck.
Yeah.
Just that there's just so happened to be a
ramp
car hauling
Oh,
a
yeah,
truck.
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
no
With
doubt.
no cars
No
on it,
doubt.
and the
He would've
ramp was
figured
down.
something out though.
Maybe, yeah, I'm sure, but
Yeah, but he was like, "Oh, how lucky am I?" Like
this
check
is gonna look
out.
badass
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Look, I have a
mean,
badass round. I don't have to go around.
Points. We gotta get the style points.
Mhm.
Yeah, could you imagine them like stopping the race and or the whole chase and like him having to back up and then drive through the like grass to get around all the traffic to get
Ah,
to
damn it!
like damn it
Google.
like hold on
I need an alternate route.
yeah
Turn around.
Alfred
Turn
can
around.
you help
Take a U-turn. Damn it!
instead of Tom he's got Al
After capturing the Penguin, Batman takes him to Gordon, where they interrogate Penguin on whether or not he is El Rata Alada, the winged rat. The Penguin is confused and asks if the Riddler is stupid, mocking his terrible Spanish.
he felt so good about himself too. You're a bunch of idiots. like world's greatest detective's my ass.
You guys are
Oh, man.
stupid.
Penguin reveals the correct Spanish phrase is La Rata Alada, not El Rata Alada. The correction reveals the hidden pun in the original "You are El Rata Alada" clue URL Rata Alada. Okay. This clue allows Gordon and Batman to find the Riddler's website and ask Riddler directly whether the penguin is the rat with wings. Riddler is disappointed by their conclusion and directs them to the Gotham orphanage for more clues. They leave immediately, leaving the penguin tied up. When Batman and...
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
He's a dick.
I don't know why they didn't just take his ass to jail, but whatever.
they had
guess
him.
because-
I mean, they had him on a few felonies.
Yeah, a lot of felonies.
When Batman and Jim Gordon reach the Gotham
It's
orphanage...
medicinal cocaine.
Maybe it's because... wait. Maybe,
I got a prescription for this.
maybe it's because they knew that there were people in the police station working with the penguin.
Yeah, they knew it would be.
Yeah, it's fruitless.
It's for naught. Nothing would
Yeah.
have happened.
Alright. When Batman and Jim Gordon reach the Gotham orphanage, they encounter a few drop heads. What does drop head mean?
It's the drug. They call it drop. Well, I think they put it in their eye,
Yeah.
and it fucks them up.
It's
like
the drug of choice in Gotham
It's called
City.
drop heads,
Oh.
but they call them drop heads. Essentially, like crackheads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fake drug
Yeah.
in Gotham City.
Who made it? Penguin?
You remember when they said that, they had that big drug bust, and then they go on the rooftop, and he says, "Oh, if they shut it down at all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's where they make the drug."
It wasn't
It's
Falcone's drug, but it was
Marcino or Marcino.
Marconi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Marconi
did this
was
big
yeah.
drug bust. Then they busted the Marconi.
Maroni. It's not it's Maroni.
Maroni. You're
Yeah,
right.
Maroni. Yeah, so they
You
did this
threw
big
me off
drug.
there. I
Yeah.
was like Marconi. No.
Yeah, so they
I'm talking about Coney Island.
yeah, they did that big drug bust, and then everybody patted themselves on the back, but they didn't shut it down.
Right.
They just arrested some dude and made him a patsy.
Because they had police officers working for them?
They were on the payroll.
Yeah, it was Maroni's
Gotcha.
business, but
Yeah,
Essentially, the cops.
Carmine. Carmine's the one really running it.
Yeah.
Carmine just took over it.
No, it was really Carmine's.
Yeah, it was Carmine's from the
He
beginning.
just let the other guy take the fall
He
for
let
it,
yeah.
so that it made the mayor look like he was doing something because he was losing the election.
They encounter a few drop heads who are using the abandoned orphanage as shelter. Batman and Gordon enter a room with "Where It All Began" painted in green on the door. A video of Thomas Wayne's mayoral
Sure,
campaign
just keep going.
ad and projecting on the wall with several messages painted around the room, including "Sins of the Father" and "Renewal is a Lie." Batman realizes that he is Riddler's next target and disappears to return to Wayne Tower, leaving Gordon alone, as he feared that Alfred Pennyworth would likely be in danger from the Riddler's attacks.
See, this is what I didn't like about this part of the story. I didn't like that they had to shoehorn the Wayne family into it to make them sort of not only victims but also accomplices in a way. Like,
Yeah.
why did you have to even shoehorn them in to begin with? I didn't like that. Like, why does the Wayne family have to be involved in this storyline? You know what I mean?
I think it's to further the plot of the next movies, and I'll tell you why. Because he doesn't know Bruce Wayne's value yet. He only sees Batman.
I get
No, no,
that.
hold on, he only sees Batman, right?
Yeah.
So the very beginning of the movie, he says they got accountants coming for a meeting. Remember that? And he shrugs it off and doesn't give a shit.
No,
And he
I'm saying
leaves.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying why are they shoehorning the Waynes in here
Hold
to be
on,
like
I'm getting there.
a
I'm getting
supposed
there.
bad
I'm
guy?
getting there.
Yeah, Dad, let her talk.
So they had the accountants coming for that whole thing, right? And he doesn't give a shit and he leaves because he doesn't care about Bruce Wayne. He doesn't care about being a Wayne. He doesn't care about any of that shit. If he had paid attention to that and listened to the accountants, he would have known already about them siphoning money out of the fund. He would have known already about what was going on with all of that.
Guess he's not the world's greatest detective.
Well,
Yeah.
He
No,
would have
it's
known.
just-
He wouldn't have known. He would have known if he cared about being Bruce Wayne or about being a Wayne.
Right.
So it's teaching him that lesson. So it furthers the plot for the next movies, I think, to teach him that lesson that he should care about being Bruce Wayne. He
Right.
should care about being a Wayne.
Okay. I
Michael,
guess, yeah.
Why was he heading back to Wayne Tower? I thought he'd be going to Wayne Manor.
Wayne Manor in this iteration, I believe, has been given away. Like I think that actually was the orphanage in the
Wayne
Long
Manor was the
Halloween.
orphanage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So they
Alright.
gave the mansion away and turned it into an
And
orphanage,
just
and that's what they're referring to.
and
here.
he just lived in the tower
yeah.
okay.
because he didn't care. He didn't have a family or anything. So
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't care either.
yeah,
That big house would just make me feel
That would
more
be
alone.
why he's, instead of having a bat cave, he's got the subway
Right.
system.
He's
because in Wayne Manor or in Wayne Tower, the subway used to take all the employees to
so he's
to the tower.
he's got the Trump Tower. All right.
basically.
All right. On his way back to Wayne Tower, Bruce desperately tries to contact Alfred and warn him of the impending danger. Eventually, the call is answered, but not by Alfred. Instead, Dory answers, and Bruce tells her that something terrible is about to happen. To his dismay, Dory informs him that it already did, and Bruce realizes she is telling the truth as he sees smoke rising out of Wayne Tower. A short while after sending the letter bomb, Riddler leaks Thomas Wayne's involvement in the death of reporter Edward Elliot. The Riddler reveals that Thomas Wayne went to Carmine Falcone to have Elliot killed. Trying to find out if the Riddler was telling the truth, Bruce returns to the Iceberg Lounge as Bruce Wayne and speaks with Falcone. Falcone confirms that it is indeed true, claiming that Thomas asked him to put the fear of God in the sky. Falcone then says that fear isn't enough, implying that he had the reporter killed for Thomas Wayne. Distraught and angry, Bruce confronts Alfred, who tells him that Thomas had made a mistake, to which Bruce responds by saying that getting someone killed isn't a mistake. Alfred tries to reason with him, saying that Thomas was trying to protect him and his mother. Alfred says that when Thomas found out the reporter was dead, he threatened to turn Falcone and himself over to the Gotham City Police Department, which Alfred suspected was the reason Bruce's parents were killed. But he was never able to confirm it. Bruce apologizes to Alfred, but sees the bat signal in the sky and leaves to go meet with Jim Gordon. Batman arrives at the same time as Gordon. Much to their confusion, Gordon assumed Batman had lit the signal, while Batman assumed the opposite. The two head up to investigate and see Catwoman has captured and tied up William Kenzie. Kenzie pleads with Gordon to help him, but Selina shuts him up, and it shows Batman and Gordon the voice message. Annika Kozlov.
Annika.
Yeah, Annika Kozlov had left her the night she went missing. Batman pressures Kenzie, and Kenzie reveals everything about the lie of the Gotham Renewal Corporation and the rat that ended Salvatore Maroni's drops operation. Kenzie said that after the death of Thomas Wayne, the Renewal Fund had no oversight, so everyone jumped in to get a slice of the money. However, Falcone got greedy and ratted out Maroni to Don Mitchell Jr. and the Gotham City Police Department, which led to the arrest of Maroni. So it was Maroni's.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought.
Oh, so it was Maroni's
it was-
operation.
Yeah,
I always
and
thought Falcone was in.
Falcone
the head
just
of all
took
of it.
over After
Okay. That's what I thought it was something to do with, like, the cops and Maroni or Falcone took over the operation after Maroni went down.
Yeah, that's what it
So,
was.
okay.
After learning this, Catwoman kicks Kenzie off the building and runs away to confront Falcone. Batman is able to grapple him, and he and Gordon pull Kenzie up. Batman then goes to pursue Catwoman to the Iceberg Lounge, while Gordon goes to round up as many honest cops as he can. Batman successfully infiltrates the Iceberg Lounge and finds Carmine Falcone trying to strangle Selina Kyle with a pool cue. Batman stops Falcone and takes him out to Jim Gordon and the honest cops of the Gotham City Police Department. Gordon reads out Falcone's Miranda rights, while Penguin insults Falcone, calling him a rat. Falcone responds by calling Penguin a gimp in an empty suit, and Penguin pulls a gun on him. A gunshot is heard, and Falcone falls dead. Penguin is restrained while insisting he did not shoot. Batman then realizes that Falcone had been killed under a street light. Fulfilling the task, Riddler had given Gordon and Batman to bring the rat into the light. Batman looks for where the shot had come from when Martinez pointed out that it had come from across the street.
Batman and the rest of Gotham City Police Department infiltrate the Riddler's apartment, and Batman looks through an open window to see where the Riddler has gone, to no avail. Batman tells Gordon this, but Martinez reports to Gordon that a witness saw a person use the fire escape and enter the corner diner, where he is sitting at that very moment. Batman and the GCPD surround the diner and arrest the Riddler.
She's
Police
she's
rush.
waiting for you to grab it.
The police rush into the diner
She's trying to do it as quietly as possible. I looked at her, she just stopped like,
Oh shit, he seen me.
where Edward Nashton, the Riddler, sits at the counter. As soon as he was ordered to do so, Nashton surrenders. He tells Gordon that he had just ordered a slice of pumpkin pie, but is slammed into the counter by Martinez and another cop. When he sees Batman standing in the window, Edward smiles. The Riddler is then arrested and moved to Arkham State Hospital. Following the arrest, Gordon and Batman, along with detectives from the GCPD, investigate the Riddler's apartment further. They discover that the Riddler was actually a forensics accountant by the name of Edward Nashton, which is how he was able to verify the bribes the corrupt city officials such as Gil Colson had been making, and the corruption of the Renewal Project. During the investigation, Gordon informed Batman that Nashton was requesting to speak with him at Arkham State Hospital. Upon arrival, the Riddler talks reverently about how Batman had inspired all his killings, saying that the two were a great team. Batman furiously denied this.
fucking kids, man. They're making airplanes.
I'm not.
Karen's like, you fucking
Well, maybe
bastards,
if
let
you
me get
didn't
through
pay
this.
attention to her.
I don't. I'm just like, every time I look over there, they giggle.
maybe
I'm just looking
maybe
at
don't
because you're
look.
smiling.
Calling Nashton a psychopath and saying that he would die alone. Nashton breaks down, yelling that he had everything planned out and that he and Batman were going to be safe at Arkham State Hospital while everything unfolded. Batman asks what he is referring to, much to Nashton's disappointment. Nashton says that Batman is not as smart as he thought he was. Frustrated, Batman returns to Nashton's apartment to find out what Nashton was talking about. There's a lot of Nashtons.
I was
in
gonna say,
this.
there's a lot of
every
Nashtons
2
in there.
seconds. What about he? Or, any other word.
You're right.
Batman arrives.
What pronouns are for?
Batman arrives back at Nashton's apartment and is confronted by Martinez while looking at the evidence. As Batman reaches for the tool the Riddler had used to kill Don Mitchell Jr., Martinez noted that the tool is used to tuck in carpets, as his uncle works with them. Batman uses the tool on the Riddler's carpet, and he and Martinez stare in horror at a map of Gotham carved on the floor, with beeping lights placed around the edge. Batman uses the words carved in the middle of the map, a real change, as the password for the Riddler's locked social media page. The most recent post reveals that the Riddler has strategically placed vans along the Gotham seawall, which will begin to explode as Batman watches the video. The page also reveals that the Riddler had persuaded his followers to dress as him in an attempt to assassinate the mayor-elect Bella Real at Gotham Square Garden, as well as terrorize the general public when the seawall is destroyed, and the resulting flood directs evacuations to the garden. Batman rushes to the garden to stop them, leaving Martinez desperately trying to call Gordon.
Sorry.
I have that piece of paper.
What? No.
Okay, I got it.
Riddler's followers were able to shoot Bella Rail. Yeah, sure. From the rafters, but it wasn't enough to kill her. Batman crashes down through the glass roof to subdue them and begins taking them out one by one. One goon grabs a shotgun and shoots Batman in the chest. Batman stumbles backward and is barely able to hang onto the walkway. The goon readies the killing shot, but is stopped by Selina Kyle. Catwoman pulls Batman up and gives him a kiss before she is dragged away by one of Riddler's followers. Batman takes a shot. Would you knock it off?
Knock what off?
Let me get through the rest of this and knock it off.
I was reaching for my pencil.
God damn. Fucking kids.
Yeah, Eric.
I just had to confiscate 2 of these from the adult over here.
Hey, but you gotta admit, I'm pretty good at making airplanes. Look at it. It's beautiful.
We're the only mature ones here, Karen.
And that's not saying much, honestly.
It's not. It's not.
Karen, it's a beautiful airplane, right?
Yeah, sure. Anyway, let me get through this.
I'm
There's
gonna
not
ask
much
you-
left. Shut up and let me get through it.
It's pointy.
Ah.
Anyways.
Where was I? Batman
Probably
takes a
Nash
shot
too.
of adrenaline and proceeds to beat up the goon
That's
until
what that was? I thought it was drop acid
Until-
stuff.
Jim Gordon arrives and stops him from going too far. Shortly after, the building begins to collapse from the flood, and electrical wires are dangling dangerously over the water. Bruce jumps off the catwalk and slices the wire with his batarang, cutting off the power and removing the danger. He falls into the water below,
Why was
but
that so dramatic? Like,
just because
He could have
this
died.
is where he realizes what his purpose is.
Yeah.
It's his realization that he's not just this guy, and there is hope for change in the city.
is there though?
Like he's not just some masked vigilante. He's also there to save people. He's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
there as a
He's
savior.
also a symbol of of hope and things like that. Like he's their symbol. He's their hope.
I didn't know emo people could be hope.
Oh my god. Bruce jumps off the catwalk, slices the cutting off the power, removing the danger. He falls into the water below, but is able to recover quickly. He lights a flare and leads Bella Rail, Don Mitchell Jr.'s son, and other civilians out of the wreckage to higher ground so they can
Why didn't his eye makeup come off?
be evacuated, because it's really good eye makeup. He's rich. Think he can afford the best.
It's
I actually like that.
Well, then how does it come off?
No, I actually like that they showed it. No other movie does that. Like
No.
every time he takes the cowl off, all of a sudden he has just nothing around his eyes.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
always
know,
bugged me.
but I'm saying whenever he jumps into the water, why doesn't it wash off? How
Does
does he get that stuff
Well, I
off
mean,
every day?
you don't have like
he just
makeup
uses-
that's waterproof.
No. Every time I cry.
That's because you ain't got Bruce Wayne money. All right, let me get through this.
Then
You
how
can-
does he get it off though? If he can't take it off with
Ask
water.
us when I got a paragraph and a half left. Let me get through this. He lights a flare and leads. Blah blah blah. See, now I'm lost my place. Bruce realizes. All right. Bruce realizes the Batman needs to be more than vengeance for the people of Gotham City, and acknowledges that he has had the unintended effect of giving people hope. See? He understands now that vengeance can't change the past, but hope could be what the city and the people need. After assisting Gotham City after Riddler's attack, Batman finds Selina Kyle, who is visiting her mother's grave. Selina tells Batman that she is leaving the city and moving upstate to somewhere like Bloodhaven. She warns him about the dangers of protecting the city and how it could cost him his life. But he already knows and still wants to defend it and see it change. Catwoman invites him to come with her, but she sees him distracted by the bat signal and understands that he won't leave Gotham for anything or anyone. Batman's final words to Selina are, "Take care of herself," and they both ride their bikes their own separate ways.
I thought he was gonna go
Hey,
with
Karen.
her for a second.
No.
ET phone home.
All right, let's get into some notes and stuff.
First thing I had to say was that, do you remember like the outcry that so many people so mad when they. So anyway, everybody hated
Technical
Pattinson
difficulties.
as Batman, but I didn't care about that because everybody had the same bitch about Keaton back in the day because he was known for being a comedian actor.
Yeah. So, first thing I want to ask everybody is, I want to hear everybody's best Batman. Who's best Batman?
Keaton.
Keaton, you figured is
Oh, I
yours.
thought you meant like.
Who's your favorite
impression.
Batman?
Mine?
Yeah.
Keaton.
Keaton,
Yeah, hands down.
Madison,
The guy who plays in Batman
Keaton.
Yeah.
Keaton. I like. There's
know,
nostalgia
man.
there, so I get it.
No. It's not about nostalgia. He plays both. He plays both Bruce Wayne and Batman perfectly.
I guess so.
Now, when Pattinson gets there, I may change my
I
mind.
like, so the reason why I like Pattinson as Batman, not more than Keaton, because I like them both. I like Keaton as a mature Batman.
Yeah, that's
And,
my point.
yeah.
When
But, like,
Pattinson gets there, I
yeah.
think I may change my mind.
Pattinson as a younger Batman with this anger and all that. That's awesome. I think he does a great job.
Yeah, like what I was gonna say. You guys mentioned emo earlier. Hardly. He's young. This is exactly what I wrote down. He's young. This is young Batman that we're seeing on screen for basically the first time. He has to grow up. In later versions, we see the Batman that has grown up, that has learned that Bruce Wayne has importance and usefulness. And he had to play ball as much as he may have hated it. And he also learned that Alfred was the only family he had left. All the iterations we've seen beforehand, he's already learned all of this.
Right.
This
All
is
right.
the first time we're seeing it where
So-
he hasn't.
Favorite Alfred.
Oh, it's got to be the Alfred from like the first couple, Batman 1 and
Actually, I think I like this Alfred.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
I like Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him in the. I'm not a big fan of the Dark Knight series, but dude, Michael Caine kills it as Alfred.
He was
You
a
know,
very good
honestly,
He's a
Alfred.
very good Alfred.
The Alfred I like was the one in Gotham.
I think I
TV
like.
series Gotham.
yeah,
I
he was
agree.
good.
Yeah, he was
did
a really
great
good
job
Alfred.
as
Yeah.
I think I
yeah.
like this Alfred just because it's the first time I really remember seeing like emotion
Right.
with
Dear God.
associated with Alfred, and there's always been that fatherly bond there,
Yeah.
and I feel like this is the first time you've actually seen that,
Right.
especially in Alfred.
I get. Well,
No,
no, because
no.
I say the Michael Caine did a lot of that,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
and same as in Gotham, he
In
was
Gotham,
very.
he's
oh
father
yeah, that's
figure.
true because he was a kid.
Yeah.
Very
I just didn't see
fathery.
very many episodes of Gotham. Though.
Oh, Gotham
You
was
should
awesome.
watch
You
it.
should
I
watch it.
should.
It's
I
really
know.
good.
I know.
It's really
I know.
good.
I've watched all of them.
I just really liked it. I think it's because he's young, and in The Dark Knight he's not young, so you don't get that same
Right.
kind of reciprocation. Or,
Yeah, I suppose
you know what I mean?
so. Yeah.
And like, so this time you're actually seeing like him learning those lessons while also, Alfred being sort of vulnerable too.
Right.
So I don't know. I think that's why I liked it. You're seeing that for the first time, I guess.
I like the Alfred from the Lego movie.
The Lego Batman movie.
Yep.
I don't even. Oh, it wasn't even on my radar.
No, buddy. So,
all right, hold on. I'm not done.
Oh.
Best Catwoman.
It's the one from Batman
um,
Returns.
This one.
You like this one more than Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
I really like Michelle Pfeiffer. I thought it was Zoe Kravitz,
I think
but
it's Zoe
Michelle
Kravitz.
Pfeiffer kills it, man.
Yeah, she does, but it's. I don't know.
But
It-
I do like.
It's the iteration of it.
I guess, yeah, I do. But Zoe Kravitz.
Well, it's sort of the same argument I've always had about the Joker. I can't really say like which one you like better because you can say that about Alfred because Alfred's always the same, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which iteration of the comic, but the villains are different in every iteration. So when you go to make that argument to say like, oh, which one do you like better? You like Michelle Pfeiffer because that's the iteration of
Of
the
that,
Catwoman in.
I agree. Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so
you're not
I
gonna.
like-
You're not gonna choose.
Yeah, I mean, like, I
Princess
like-
Diaries girl,
no,
Anne Hathaway,
absolutely not.
because
no.
she was a terrible fucking
She's terrible.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
I did not like her as a Catwoman at all.
But I'm not a very big fan of the Dark Trilogy series at all.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
any of it.
It's
But
just too. It's too grounded and too.
too over the top
Yeah.
and the wrong ways.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan, I get what he was trying to do, but it was too realistic in a lot of ways. Like you could easily tell that was obvious. That didn't look like Gotham to me.
Yes.
It looked like Chicago or New
Yes.
York or something like that.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. I
And
agree.
yeah, I just didn't care for it.
Yeah. I agree.
Hold on now.
I'm-
Favorite Batmobile.
This one.
This one.
One.
For sure, this one.
I like the realness.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's a car.
Yeah.
And I know that they're all cars, right? But my point is that, like with Adam West, that was a real car.
Yeah.
That was like a whatever Phantom.
Something
whatever.
Like, yeah, I don't know what it was.
I can't remember, but it was like it was an actual car, a type of car, and they just like slap stickers on it and shit. And so you could go out and buy that car. This is a modified Charger, I think.
yeah, something like that. I think
The
it.
1969
yeah.
Charger. So this is a modified Charger. So like some dude could go out and find a husk of a Charger and build this if he really wanted to, if he had the money and the know-how.
I don't know about the jet engine, but
I'm just saying, if you had the money and the know-how, right? Like
Yeah.
if you had money, you could go get a jet engine,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
So
Put a jet engine in that bitch.
sure, I'm just saying, you have the money and the know-how, right? You could do it.
I mean, they do it in cars all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, you got the cars
Haven't
that take
you ever
the
played
salt
GTA?
flats.
yeah.
I
They
guess.
do it.
All I'm saying is that I like the realism of that. I like that it's a car. Keaton's Batmobile. That's not. I mean, okay, it was.
It
a
looks
car.
awesome.
It was a
but-
car, but it was like they put shit on it,
and it was
doesn't
very.
look like a
it was
car
so
anymore.
elongated and
Yeah.
unrealistic. It was
Yeah.
like, oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the realism of it.
And then the Batmobile in the Dark Knight series was like this giant tank.
I hated that car.
It was so dumb looking. It
Yeah.
was. I hate it.
I hated the fact that he got everything from the military and like all it, like it wasn't very Batman of him
Yeah, to be so.
relying on other people and just taking.
Well,
like,
not only that, but like everybody's got to be sitting back, like thinking, like, so the Batman's got to have a lot of money because
well that and like he's just taking. He never does that. He makes his own shit. He's very. He likes to invent. He does. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he loves that shit. So I like that he made his own shit in this. I
Right.
guess.
But anyway, so what I was saying earlier about, so this movie's 3 hours long. It's like 2 hours and 55 minutes or something.
Yeah.
They could have trimmed like a half hour of this movie if they would have just trimmed down the Selena and Falcone thing. Like it was just,
her
it's
being-
too much.
Her being his daughter.
Yeah,
whatever, I
like
thought
for
was a
one,
little
yeah,
over the
him,
top. They
her
didn't
being
need
his
that.
daughter was dumb. I didn't like the
You didn't need that extra conflict.
No, you
in
didn't.
there.
You did. It was too much. Her being conflicted the whole time. The whole girl situation with her, which I get it. It all fed into the main plot, but they could have found workarounds with that instead of like shoehorning in this whole other storyline with Catwoman and Carmine Falcone and all that stuff.
I thought Catwoman was gonna be a lesbian for a second.
She was a lesbian.
Yeah.
Oh, she
Well,
was.
she wasn't a lesbian. She's bisexual, I guess you could say. So, because the girl was her girlfriend or whatever.
That's what I thought, and then she
But
got into the Batman
right.
uber fast, so I wasn't sure.
well, the Batman and Catwoman always had this
Yeah.
will
Yeah, I
they,
know.
will they, won't they thing going on.
Oh, but they totally did.
Oh, for sure.
A few
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. But Batman got involved with a lot of different women. He was involved with her. He was involved with Batgirl or whatever it was.
Poison Ivy.
I don't know that he was involved with Poison Ivy so much. I know he was involved with what's his face's daughter, which
Commissioner Gordon.
no, well
Or-
that
yeah,
was
that was
Batgirl.
Batgirl,
Batgirl. No, not what's her name? It would have been Ra's al Ghul's daughter.
Oh.
Talia.
Yeah, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Like that was a thing in the comic books. So he had, I mean, and then he also dated like reporters and things like that. He models and all that shit to keep up appearances. Bruce Wayne.
That's what the Val Kilmer Batman did.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, she was,
yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, but I just think that they could have trimmed a lot of that down and made this. I mean, a 2.5 hour movie would have filled out just fine. That's
Sure.
fine with
I
me.
agree. Yeah.
Like there would have been enough going on there. But I'm not gonna knock it for that because it only bothered me
It
at certain
didn't-
points. It did drag. It felt like that dragged it out a little bit.
Yeah.
The dragon's what kind of got me a little bit on it.
yeah, it didn't necessarily kill it. It
Didn't kill it. It just kind of drug it out.
Yeah.
It kind of drug it
didn't
along a
have
little
to-
farther
It
than
didn't
it
have
had
to be there.
No,
at
it
all.
didn't. Because I think with that added in there, it felt like a 3 hour movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
it
what
did.
it felt that because of that shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, you're dragging this stuff out. Let's get, because once they finally, like, Carmine Falcone goes to jail, that stuff, and they get back to the Riddler and Batman, like, as soon as Carmine dies and he's up there in the Riddler's apartment, I'm like, oh, I feel relieved.
Now we're back in.
Yeah, we're back into this.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. That's done. Let's do this.
Yeah, I agree. The mobster thing I was not into at all. I was like,
No.
okay, I don't care. Let's get like this dude is interesting.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
this is interesting to me. Like, the Carmine Falcone thing, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
care about him. Like, make him a small subplot.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need him
I
to
understood why it was there, but like
Yeah.
we don't need to spend that much fucking
that
time
much
on
time
it.
with it.
Yeah.
Especially making Selena Kyle his daughter.
Yeah.
Like, that just seemed like,
Calm down. We
Just-
don't hear it on the video.
something that was a little excessive. And I didn't like it. I just didn't care for that. I didn't care for some of that stuff. And
It didn't add to the pacing. They could have done something different there.
right,
It
because
didn't
I
have to
liked
be
the
that way.
pacing of the movie itself, and I liked the music, the
Yeah.
aesthetic,
Mhm.
and one of my favorite fucking things about this movie is the detective noir stuff.
Yes.
So like he's talking like an old school, like narrating it like an old school detective
Love
movie,
that.
and I love
Love
that
it.
because that is Batman.
I love noir.
His original
Mhm.
comic books were the world's greatest detective
Uh-huh.
comics.
Uh-huh.
That's what his comics were called.
Yep.
So to have him narrating, especially at the beginning, to set up the movie and everything,
Mhm.
fan-fucking-tastic.
Yep.
Like that made me happy because that's what Batman is to me. I wasn't always a huge Batman fan because I always thought he was kind of a whiny bitch, but he's grown on me over time, and I think it's because I've gotten more involved in knowing his backstory, and especially this movie really did it for me. Not so much like I think that what killed it for me, most of it was the Dark Knight trilogy. That's what killed Batman for me.
That was a bad, in my opinion.
They were
that's a bad
okay
one
action
for-
movies for what they were, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, Christopher Nolan wasn't the person that should have been directing Batman. You know what I mean?
You hit the nail on the head when you said he made it too real.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just too clean and shiny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was weird. You know,
Batman should be grungy and dark.
just like in
very,
this movie.
very Crow-like. This movie is
Oh,
very
for sure.
Crow-like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that,
Like the
that
Crow-
same vibe, that same aesthetic.
Yeah,
Um,
kind of like the Joker movie. The Joker movie gave you that. Like the Joker movie
grungy,
was like
gross city.
yeah, it's
that-
supposed to be just a gross, dingy, dirty city.
yeah.
Full of crime and corruption,
Yep.
and that's what I want to see. I don't want to see big, beautiful concrete buildings and nice, shiny, clean streets, and like that whole scene with the football team and the third one or whatever, and all that stuff. Like it looks too clean and shiny.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that. I want it dingy.
Yep.
Like like if you want clean and
Even the
shiny like that,
people, you
go
know,
to
like,
Metropolis where
even
Superman is.
even in the daytime with the people, it's very gray and very
Exactly.
that's what you
Yeah.
want.
That's
That's
ex-
exactly.
exactly.
What you want.
It looks like there's always an overcast over Gotham City, and
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
So,
You don't
and I
wanna
like
see
the music.
sunshine and
I'm not a
yeah.
big Nirvana fan, but they definitely add to this movie.
that was perfect.
Yeah, they definitely add to this movie, and same with just the music itself. All of it, it all adds to this movie. It's just it's just so good.
Yeah.
But like Colin Farrell as the Penguin he just fucking kills it. I thought he did so good, man. But I love Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
He does good in just about.
Well, it's not his acting that I have a problem with. I just don't understand why they had to go so out of
Out of the way. Yeah, whenever they had it there already, they could have
if
just
they
got
want,
this
if that
guy.
was the look you were going for, there's a guy that looks like that.
Yeah.
You know? And Colin Farrell's amazing in anything he does, so there's literally hundreds of other roles you could have given him.
Maybe they
Just
just
throwing
wanted
that out
somebody who
there.
could guarantee to nail that role. And Colin Farrell's a good character actor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it was necessarily a bad cast. It's not a bad cast. It's just, man, I feel bad for that makeup person.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
God, how much glue did they go through? Like,
oh yeah, all the makeup and prosthetics that they had put in. He had to be in a fat suit, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and can you
Because
imagine?
because in makeup he does not look anything like Colin
No,
Farrell.
and can you imagine Richard Kind like sitting there at home like,
Hello,
I'm
right here.
right here. Anyway, so that first scene with the Riddler, we were talking about that. When that lightning strikes, the first time I saw that, and you finally like you see him lit up in the background, and you didn't see him before. I got that same vibe, like it was a horror movie.
Yeah,
You know, because you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
where
murder
the
weapon
fuck?
and all.
Where are you from? Where'd you come from?
Murder weapon and all. Yeah, he was there too. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh yeah, that is creepy as shit.
Yeah, and the way he looks,
And that
that
is not-
whole that way that we,
And that's
Ugh.
why this Riddler is completely different from any
Mhm.
other Riddler before.
And it's funny, like the first time I watched it, like I said, I didn't get that serial killer vibe, but this time I watched it, I
Yeah.
was like, dude, he's a fucking
Yeah.
psycho.
Especially this time, like him as the Riddler. This time he's like, because normally the Riddler's like this loud, flamboyant, just character on screen,
yeah.
taking up
Yeah.
all the energy in the room. This guy is like brooding, mean, dark,
And Paul Dano playing it.
Crazy.
and Paul Dano does so good.
Oh my god, he's like the only person that can do comedy like this,
Yeah.
or like comedy like he does, and then this, and
Yeah.
like nail both so
Yeah.
perfectly.
Oh yeah,
But there again, you know, we've made the connection that there's such a fine line between comedy and
well,
horror.
he was in that movie with Hugh Jackman, and that where he was the child abductor. I can't remember the name of it, but then,
Oh yeah, that one I just watched it not too long ago.
and he put me in the mind that like it was almost like he was channeling that again.
He wasn't the child abductor. He was abducted as a child, and he was all fucked up, and he was trying to tell them where the kids were, but like he wouldn't tell them or whatever. He was all fucked up, and then they finally like use him to find the kids, and then Yeah, fuck. What was that called? Anyway,
I don't
yeah,
know what it's called, but it had Hugh Jackman and Terrence Howard in it.
yeah, and it had Jake Gyllenhaal in it too. He was the cop.
Yeah. Jake
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal was in it too.
Yeah.
And then he was also there, and then there was like There Will Be Blood.
The first movie I saw him in was Taking Lives, and he played the younger version of Ethan Hawke in that.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what that is.
Well, the twins, they were twins
Yeah.
at the beginning or whatever.
But yeah, he's a good fucking actor. He doesn't do a lot of comedy much anymore, but
No, but in the beginning he did a little bit.
he did a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I also like that Pattinson didn't do the growling thing. He just talked
He just
very
talked very low
and whispered.
and yeah.
You know, I fucking hated Christian Bale's.
That was Christian Bale. He brought that
Oh,
shit
God,
into.
I
I'm like,
fucking
man,
hated
come on,
that.
dude. But
I don't know why this popped into my head, but I thought it would be really funny if like eventually all they had to do was turn on the light and like Batman didn't even have to like go anymore. Like they just turned on the light and everybody's like, "Oh shit, run!" Like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't even have to do it. The scene where they're at the mayor's house and the guy comes in like just screaming. The commissioner, he comes in just screaming at Batman. I loved his reaction because he doesn't even like look at him, regard him in any way. He's just calmly going around the crime scene, just
yeah, because he doesn't care. Because
Yeah.
it's great because like the Batman in this is like he doesn't have any regard for anybody. Like he's like, what are you gonna do? You don't know who I am. If you come at me, I'm gonna fuck you up.
yeah, no
You
shit.
know what I mean? So
Yep.
like, what are you gonna do? Like arrest me? Like I'm the Batman, bitch.
Yeah,
Like you
I'm
know
the
what I mean?
Batman. Bitch.
If you want to see my social security, it's literally TheBatman.
Yeah,
Like,
you want to see my credentials?
Yeah. It just says Batman.
Here it is. Yeah, I'm Batman, bitch.
see my birth
He
certificate.
should get brass knuckles that says the Batman whenever he punches people. You know who I am? Bang! And it just like imprints on their head, the Batman.
And so the guy, Gil, the guy that was like taking bribes and shit, when he asked him how much his bribes were, how much what it was for a bribe, is it just me or like 10 grand seems awful low?
That's what I thought. It was like only 10,000.
I mean, I know that if you're getting it over and over and over again, that adds up, but that seems awful low to sell your soul for.
Yeah, I agree.
And you died for that.
10,000
You died for
bucks.
10 grand.
Yeah, $10,000 ain't shit.
No. It's a lot to owe, but it's a lot to owe, but not much to have.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That just seems awfully low.
That's what he said. $10,000, like maybe 100,000. How about that?
Sure. Okay, start out. I would say like 25,000 is probably. You really want something done? Give me 25,000.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah.
You know.
Especially for a DA. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Like you want me to sell out of my
You know
entire.
he makes like.
$10,000. I make that in like a few months, like a month or
Shit,
two.
he makes that in 6 hours.
I
Probably.
was gonna say he
you know what I
probably
mean?
makes that in at least in a month. You
Yeah,
know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
At
like
least in a
that's
week.
insane.
So like 10 grand, like what is that? Like a week's paycheck?
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't get that. And I love that they used I can't say it. Ave Maria for the Riddler.
Yeah.
That was hauntingly beautiful. I know it's like, a Catholic song and everything, but it suits
Yeah.
so well. It was perfect. Whoever did the music for this movie.
Another thing I didn't like about this movie, though, like I said before, was the Bruce Wayne, Thomas Wayne, like moving that in there. I think that if they would have cut that out along with the Carmine Falcone thing, like if they would have at least shortened it in some way, dude, I just felt like this movie would have been more tightly written
They had
if they had done that.
They had to have the mobster stuff kind of in there because that was the whole point.
And
of
that's
the
fine,
Riddlers.
but like don't make it like the second center point, like a focal point thing of the movie. Like make it like a side thing, like something like, all right, I gotta go talk to Carmine Falcone. He's got about 5 minutes of screen time total. You know what I mean? He doesn't need an entire half hour of the movie dedicated to him and Selena Kyle.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
I'm just-
I'm okay with Selena Kyle being in there, but don't make her like Carmine's fucking daughter and all this and that. Like make this big deal out of it. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well,
That I don't think I didn't feel like Catwoman being who she is was independent enough for me in this movie. I loved Zoe Kravitz. She probably is my favorite Catwoman. Aside, in this sort of sense, I guess, like she definitely tops out Anne Hathaway, even the original from the old school Batman show, especially Halle Berry.
she doesn't count. She's not even part of that universe, really.
Halle Berry's Catwoman. I mean, well, whatever. She's still Catwoman, so Like I didn't like her as that.
As in, she dresses up like a cat.
Yeah,
Sure.
right. Yeah, well, I guess she
furry.
wasn't even Selena Kyle, was she?
Mm.
No, she was something else. But yeah, her as Catwoman in this, I guess what I see what you're saying, Karen. Like, what's her name? God damn it, fucking other
Michelle
Catwoman,
Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. I see what you're saying. Like, she's that iteration of the Catwoman, and she does awesome in that like campy sort of, you
Over
know,
the top.
fun,
Wow.
over the top, round, yeah, kind of Catwoman. Whereas
But
this
Zoe is
Catwoman is more of a
serious and-
serious burglar type,
Yep.
you know, and
Cat burglar.
cat burglar, yeah, and I love her for that. So.
Slinky, getting into
Yeah,
places,
and
yep.
she's awesome in this. She's just like, I love that long-legged, thin, just like she puts her foot up over her head to try to kick Batman in the face. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she's nowhere. You know, she's
Yeah, the
got
most
this
you
ability
see-
to just kick somebody in the face and they not even see it
Yeah,
coming.
the most you see out of Michelle Pfeiffer doing that kind of stuff is like when she would, you know, like when they'd fight and she'd like, you know,
Yeah.
do kicks in the face and stuff like that, you know. But I mean, as far as like the Thomas Wayne thing, I think that is sort of important to throw that in there.
I didn't think it was. I didn't feel like it was. I felt like it was kind of shoehorned in to talk more about the Waynes whenever they could have just left this about the Batman. But I see where you're coming from with saying this could be a bigger point later on in the movies if they make
well,
more.
I think if you think about it from the perspective of, you know, it's a very big plot point. If you think about it from the perspective of they were using the Wayne's money, that's huge.
Yeah, I
and
get
if he
that.
had been paying attention,
But like I said, though, if they hadn't have brought in the whole Carmine thing and all that stuff, but I guess it does serve the ultimate plot.
yeah,
but-
that's huge. If he had been paying attention, if he had been Bruce Wayne, it wouldn't happen.
Right. I guess, but I didn't care for it. But
I think it's
even
supposed-
more
I
so
think
than
it's-
that,
I think it's part of that whole teaching.
it's fine.
Of the
Even if they
lesson.
left that in, but took out a lot of the Carmine Falcone shit. And all
Yeah,
that
if
stuff,
they could have
I
figured
think
out
it
a way.
would've-
Well, they could have left it in either way because it's part of the Riddler's reasoning for doing what he's doing.
Right, exactly.
So it doesn't really matter either way. But I guess my further point is just to say that, you know, you can see where, you know, Reeves is going with this.
Right.
He's trying to push, you know, Batman into both personas, right? He's showing him growing up. That's the entire point
Yeah.
of this. So he's proving a point in this one, you know, with Alfred, right? Like he's an asshole to Alfred, and then Alfred almost dies, and he realizes, oh shit, you know, like I can't do this. He's like a father, you know. He learns a lesson.
Yeah.
If he had been paying attention to the money, if he had been Bruce Wayne, this wouldn't have happened. He learns a lesson. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I think that's sort of important too.
Yeah, I guess so. It just I don't know. It doesn't bother me as much as the Carmine and Selena Kyle thing.
No, I
Like,
get,
that bothers
I
me a
totally
lot,
get what
so-
you're saying with that. That does seem shoehorned in. Like, I guess, you know, sort of like the same thing with like Star Wars. You know, where it's like, you know, I'm your father. Well, that's implausible. You know,
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like it's so shoehorned.
If you would have
in,
left
and
that out, it would have made exactly this movie would have had the same effect with less bullshit.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Less
it's
filler.
soap opera-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. The final thing I had to say, just because it made me laugh, was those two twins getting their ass kicked every 2
Yeah.
seconds. Like, wouldn't you take them out of being front doorsmen after a while? You guys suck at your job.
Yeah, you suck at your job,
and
obviously.
like every time you see them, they got more and more bruises and more cuts and stuff. It was just funny.
Oh,
to me.
you met the twins, huh?
Yeah, like, every time you see them, they got more black eyes, more bruises.
Yeah.
You know, I got something here too. So you know when Bruce is following Selena for the first time, he's on his bike, she's on hers.
Yeah.
Don't you think she would have hurt his bike behind him?
Well,
hers?
I think she didn't. She might not have thought much of it because it was a city full of cars and vehicles. My thing is, you didn't notice that bike following you as closely as possible for
And
blocks.
weaving through.
Yeah, weaving through
traffic.
traffic with you.
But
yeah.
I mean, honestly, you could hear his bike over hers.
Oh, for sure. But I don't think she would have cared much for that, for the noise, so much as just noticing somebody on your ass. For,
Plus, I think, you know, we're going to hear that noise a little bit more maybe than she would because of traffic.
Because of
and stuff. We're just
traffic in
listening
a
to
very
'cause we're
busy
the
city.
Viewers, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, is that
She
everybody's
should
notes?
be paying attention to her mirrors.
Yeah.
That's also true.
I don't know why they sure did ride a lot of bikes for such a wet city.
Yeah,
no shit.
how irresponsible!
Yeah,
Not
they're
checking
like
their mirrors, right?
weaving through cars and shit. Like you're just asking to get into an accident.
And they're not. Well, they were wearing helmets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were wearing helmets. Or at least Batman's safe. Not whenever he jumps off of buildings, though.
No.
God.
He needs
When
more
he-
practice.
I swear, when he hit that thing, it's like,
I
oh
was like,
God.
God damn, that hurt.
Ow.
that hurt me watching you.
Yeah.
No, I laughed.
Oh, my shoulder.
Yeah. Like that's the most beat up you see him get too.
I woke
God
up.
damn.
I woke up with bruises.
I don't think I'd have gotten up. I'd have just,
Just lay there. Oh,
That is one
I
thing
hope
about
that next
that is one
bus
thing about
hits
this
me.
movie. This movie is
Alfred!
this movie is far more of
Laid
a
their way for the
detective
cops.
and social sort of movie than it is an action movie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like that's why I think I like this one.
Well, I think that's why I like the Keaton ones better because it's not. I don't care about action. I think that's why I didn't like the Dark Trilogy. Batman's not so much action. It's more
Mystery.
he's a detective.
Yeah.
It's about the story. It's about figuring stuff out. And
yeah, he won't
there's
whoop your
fights.
ass unless he feels it's absolutely
Yeah, there's
necessary.
fighting and stuff, but it's not the pivotal part of the story. The story
Yeah.
is the story. Like that's what I like about Batman, and that's what I want to see. I don't.
In
need
the
all
beginning, that kid, was he like going through orientation to get into that gang or something? Is that why I only had
Yeah.
It's
half
an
of his
initiation,
face?
essentially.
Initiation.
They
Yeah, that's
were
why he only
trying
had
to
half the
initiate him in,
face.
yeah.
Yeah.
He did not look like he wanted to be there though.
No,
That
he
kid was
didn't.
also in Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He
the-
probably didn't. He probably was only there for like survival. You know, where he lived.
Yeah.
You know, like you had to be in a gang or whatever.
Yeah, it's funny because that kid actually in Titans becomes the newest Robin.
Oh yeah.
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 In the last season, he becomes Robin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I thought that was funny that
So
he's in
forgot about that.
Yeah. Anyway, is that everybody's notes?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, let's get into let's review this motherfucker.
Let's review this bitch.
All right. Let's start with Madison. Madison, what did you think of the Batman?
I really don't like Batman at all.
Okay.
I like this movie more than like other Batman movies though.
Okay. She
Even
rolled
though
her
it's
eyes.
super long, and I don't like long movies. I don't. I'll give it a 6.
A 6. Okay. Eric, what do you think of the Batman?
So, the movie, like you said, it seemed dragged out. I do like the music, and it did have a good plot. But the dragging out in it kind of just made it too slow for me. So I came in at like 7.5.
Okay. 7.5. Karen?
Okay, so the first thing I'll say is, you know, like I said earlier, as I've mentioned several times, Keaton is my favorite Batman. But because he's done Bruce Wayne and Batman perfectly from day one, you know, being the playboy and being Batman and preferring to be Batman, you see him doing that perfectly for 2 movies. And he's, in my opinion, the only one that's been able to do that successfully so far in any iteration that we've seen on the big screen. Now, having said that, I feel like Pattinson is well on his way to doing the same. So
I agree because Pattinson can play that charm.
absolutely, I think
Yeah.
that if we keep seeing Reeves doing what he's doing with these movies, if we see,
And honestly, I hope he does.
yeah, if we
I
see
do.
Pattinson continue playing Batman, and he grows up, and we see him being Bruce Wayne, and we see him doing both Batman and Bruce Wayne, I think we're gonna see a run for the money, and I think that I may change my mind, or at least feel like we've got
Some competition.
a competition, or at least even keel. You
Mhm.
know, I would at least be able to say like, yeah, he's not the best anymore. He's
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I'd like to be able to see that, but I feel like he's well on his way to doing that. I love the noir. I love my favorite thing in this movie is that Ave Marie every time. That every time he's on screen, even when you don't see him, you know, like when he's in the background, you know, when they're at the church and you don't know he's there, you're hearing that. You're hearing that song, some iteration of it, and it's hauntingly beautiful, and it's creepy,
Yeah.
And it just sets that tone for the Riddler anytime he's on screen.
Yeah.
And it does such a perfect job. Whoever did the music for this movie nailed it. I
agree. I do agree with that.
Yeah. And the Riddler, this is absolutely an amazing rendition of the Riddler. The first time you see some depth for him, and I think that's long overdue.
Yeah, instead of just having the Joker as your center.
Yeah, I mean everything you've ever seen for Batman, it's always the Joker, the Joker, the Joker,
the Joker, or somebody else.
I'm glad to see we see another villain that you're just as like shit.
Yeah, right.
I'm waiting for the Scarecrow.
Yeah, I mean Scarecrow's another one, but I'm just saying like this is the first time I've seen the Riddler and going like, oh no.
Like a good iteration of Scarecrow, not like the ones from Christian Bale's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like you see depth here that you never saw before. I absolutely think that this movie is wonderful. It's very well done. It is long. It's got parts that didn't need to be there.
I had a headache last night.
So I have to ding for some of that. It's
I don't blame you.
just it's not. There's parts that don't need to be there. So I'm gonna give it a 9. I think that's fair.
Okay.
You dinged it and then gave it a 9?
You dinged it and gave it a 9. Like, oh, damn.
Well, because everything
Matt
else
Reeves,
is
you're doing
perfect.
something right.
Okay, because
Okay,
here's the
okay.
thing. Here's the thing. It's long.
Yeah.
If that's the worst thing I have to say about it, there's all kinds of long movies out there that are shit.
Right.
I don't watch long movies. I don't know which
Those
ones
get
you're talking
ones.
about.
I think for me, there's a lot of things. I love this. This is my favorite Batman movie. Hands down, my favorite. It was my favorite the first time I watched it. I was into it from beginning to end. The first time it held my attention pretty well. The second time I'm like, yeah, I'm looking
You know
at it
what's
like,
coming.
yeah, well that, and also it was one of those things where I was like, they really could have trimmed some of this movie out. Like the Carmine Falcone stuff really just drug it out for me. Like, I love the actor and everything, but man, I just it felt like, man, it's just too much for the movie. Like, they could have easily shaved 20 to 30 minutes out of this movie if they would have just gotten rid of that, or some of that at least. But other than that, dude, the music, the fucking execution, the fact that he's Batman pretty much the entire movie. I bet 90% of the movie is him in the bat suit, which is awesome. And it's just all about Batman and all that stuff. So, like, instead of, like, getting involved with, like, oh, his love life and all this bullshit, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about that. I just care about, we're here to see the Batman. I love the music. Yeah, and like you said, the music, like, I don't know who did the music stuff for this, but, yeah, like, kudos, man, because you did an excellent job of matching that tone with the music. And, I love the dingy look of the city. I love that it's always wet and just even during the day, there's just overcast. I love the Batmobile. The Batmobile was my favorite thing of the whole movie. I think that this might be my second favorite Alfred. Maybe either him or the guy from Gotham. He's pretty awesome too. I love Pattinson as Batman. I think he does a great job. He could be my favorite. If, like you said, he could top Keaton.
He's well on his way.
He's well on his way. He could be my favorite. Also, I think that Zoe Kravitz, oh man, she kills it as Catwoman. I loved seeing her on screen, dude. She was awesome and just beautiful woman. I love seeing her on screen. I love seeing Pattinson on screen. I think he killed it. I don't know. The only thing that I have a gripe about is just the length of the movie. If they could have made this an easy 2.5 hour movie and took out some of that Carmine Falcone shit, like, I'd have been good with making this like easily a 9.5 movie. But I think for me, I'm gonna have to ding it because of it and give it an 8.5. But I love this movie. Like, I don't know why I haven't bought it yet. So, like, it's not part of my collection yet, but it will be. I still love this movie.
So we're at a 7.75.
Okay. All right, let's get into some Rotten to Murders. What's everybody
77.
thinking?
For critics.
For critics.
For critics?
65.
For
65?
critics.
Yeah, for critics.
89.
89, 65, 77. Karen is going to take this one. It's 85% certified fresh. Critics' consensus is a grim, gritty, and gripping super noir. The Batman ranks among the Dark Knight's bleakest and most thrilling ambitious live action outings. What about you guys'
Sticking
audience
with
score?
77.
77?
93.
I'm sticking with 65. I'm going to feeling the audience is going to be all the Robert Pattinson, like, oh, I don't think.
Oh, not after they saw it.
Karen's going to take this one too. It is an 87%. So it's close to the audience. Says the audience says it's long, but the Batman looks and sounds great, and its grounded take on Gotham is a solid fit for this caped crusader, and I agree with that. Let's get into a few rotten scores here, and then we're gonna make this fast because we're running over. Yeah, we're running over quite a bit.
1 hour 18, 36. We're at 1 hour 54 minutes.
Ooh, wow. Okay, I'll just give you 2 then. Worst Batman ever. Hope it's a one and done. There's a half score.
Paul
for
Rudd,
it.
wasn't it?
Yeah, Paul Rudd wasn't it.
And Jerry still doesn't do any housework.
Jerry still isn't doing any of that housework. Here's a 1-star. The only thing in the movie was the car chase scene, to be honest. The only good thing. Here's a 0.5 star. This movie was beyond boring. Action scenes were pathetic. Acting was average at best. RP as Batman was a horrible mistake, as was the script. It shocks me that the piece of steamy turd was made. Well, dude,
See, I thought the action was very.
Yeah, you're missing the point of the movie.
brutality in there.
Mhm.
yeah, you're missing the point of the movie and Batman.
I
He's
bet you
probably a
he-
big Dark Knight.
Yeah, I was
Dark
gonna
Knight
say, I
fan,
bet
so-
you
Oh,
his
for
favorite
sure,
is
like
Dark
big
Knight.
action and stuff.
People who like
that,
Dark
yeah.
Knight probably are not gonna like this one.
Oh,
Not-
for sure.
I mean,
I
that's
agree.
fine.
Yeah, everybody's got their taste.
Mhm.
Last one. This 0.5 star. This movie was so bad. 3 hours of long scenes. Whatever.
If your
Um,
problem is the length of it, like that's
Yeah.
such a small thing. I feel like.
All right, so let's get into some trivia.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
Robert Pattinson revealed while auditioning for the role he sneakily took a selfie in the Batsuit as a memento just in case it didn't work out. Zoe Kravitz and Robert Pattinson received the same advice from the predecessors of their roles, Michelle Pfeiffer and Christian Bale respectively. Make sure you can go to the bathroom while in costume. Matt Reeves stated that his version of the Riddler was partly inspired by the infamous serial killer Zodiac, who operated in California in the late 1960s. That's why the Riddler begins his video with, "This is the Riddler speaking." The Zodiac used similar greetings in his messages to police. Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne is partially inspired by Kurt Cobain. Writer-director Matt Reeves was listening to Nirvana when he wrote the first act with
You
Pattinson.
don't say.
Yeah. The first act with Pattinson in mind. Well, this is kind of interesting, I thought. Reeves stated that when it came to me that rather than make Bruce Wayne the Playboy version that we've seen before, there's another version that had gone through a great tragedy and become a recluse. Kurt Cobain had a relationship with fame where being famous was not his goal. He loved music, but the idea of being famous for music was a double-edged sword for him. And that made me think of Rob Pattinson, actually. I felt that his rock star vibe suited him well. After all, he became a pop culture icon at a very young age and had to carry that burden too, and extricate himself from it to be the actor he is today.
I agree.
Yeah. So
That's why I like Rob, because
he's perfect for the role because it's he went through
whenever
that.
Robert Pattinson came out and did the Twilight movies, I was like, okay, I hate this fucking guy. But after Twilight, he tried to wash that shit off of himself.
Yeah. He
went
took
out
many
and took-
showers.
Yeah, he went out and did a lot of indie movies. He tried to hone his acting skills, and you can see that in a lot of his artsier movies. Like, he is legitimately just a good fucking actor.
He literally stayed away from mainstream movies because of that.
Because of that reason. Because he didn't want to
do with
yeah,
it.
he didn't want to be typecast in that sort of role. He said, I don't want to be known for the Twilight movies.
Yeah. This is what Robert Pattinson had to say on the subject. Bruce is obsessed in being Batman. He has no desire to be Bruce. and he just wants to throw it away. He hasn't gotten over being the 10-year-old boy who in his mind let his parents die. For him, being Batman is like a strange kind of therapy. He thinks this is the way he can save himself by living in this kind of zen state as Batman, where it's just pure instinct and no emotional baggage. It feels like he has a death wish going on at night. I always get the impression that he wants to keep recreating the night when his parents died. In his mind, every single person he is fighting is the person who killed his parents.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was surprised whenever he took this role. Like, for sure. Like, I was like, are you sure he wants to? Like, and then people were bitching about,
well,
like...
that's why they literally went after him. I don't remember if I put it in here. They literally went after him for this because of that.
Well, I was also looking at it like, man, I was like... Everybody's like, I don't think he's going to be a good Batman, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, but it's Robert Pattinson. Like, he's a good actor. He'll put forth the effort needed to play the role that he's been given. If he wants to be Batman, Robert Pattinson can be Batman.
I've always had the attitude.
Like, I think I always had that attitude that, like, let's wait and see what happens.
Exactly.
He might do a good job.
Yeah, because of the whole thing with Keaton.
Yeah.
I've always had that attitude. Like, yeah, just give it a minute.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
I agree.
In Wayne Manor, there's a pedestal with, I don't know why this says Wayne Manor, because it was not Wayne Manor. There's a pedestal with William Shakespeare's bust on top. This is reference to the original Batman in 1966, the series where a similar Shakespeare bust was used as a device to trigger the opening to the Batcave. Mm-hmm. To allow Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson to communicate on the set across the self-imposed COVID-19 barriers between them, they were both outfitted with earpieces and microphones. Reeves stated, "We were always directly connected, and it was weird because we were physically distant. I could talk to him very low. I think we were in each other's heads. That had a particular effect." According to Pattinson, there were times when, while cameras were rolling, Reeves' mic was accidentally left on, and Pattinson stated you could hear his little reactions. If it was a tense scene, you'd suddenly hear his breathing accelerate. Sometimes it would be very, very distracting, but sometimes I actually quite enjoyed hearing his real-time reaction. I've never been so close to a director's perception of what I was doing before. It was a strangely intimate experience.
Wow.
I know, right? That's why I put it in here. I was like, that's interesting. Like,
weird, but
it'd be like hearing your
also,
boss's thoughts.
It kind of makes sense too, I guess. Like,
well, it'd be
I
like
could
hearing
see
your
where he's
boss's
coming from.
thoughts
Yeah.
as you were working.
It would help you become a better worker to meet their needs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could
Yeah.
see how it would help.
Yeah,
But it would also be kind of strenuous on your own sort of your own vision
Why are you
of what you're
breathing
doing.
like
Yeah,
that?
like
Stop.
like I think it would almost be distracting.
Yeah, I wouldn't
you know?
want it, but I can see, anyway. Colin Farrell wears makeup and had a fat suit for his role as the Penguin. You don't say.
What? No way.
The facial prosthetics were comprised of 6 pieces in order to ensure that there were no visible scenes. Crew members would shine harsh flashlights in his face before approving him to go on set. When the production went into lockdown due to the pandemic, Farrell got really into working out, and the costume team kept having to resize the fat suit. They even came to his house once to say, "Colin, you've got to stop working out." Jonah Hill was approached for the role of the Penguin, but turned down the offer due to disagreements over the character. Of course.
Yeah, of course he did.
It was also rumored that Hill wanted to portray the Riddler instead.
What?
No.
Because he didn't want to be like stuck with that fat guy sort of persona. Because he's tried to shave that off and everything. Dude, Jonah Hill is such a douche anymore. I can't hardly stand him.
Colin Farrell had previously been Wolfgang Petersen's choice to play Batman in the proposed Batman vs. Superman film in 2002, with Jude Law playing Superman. Paul Dano spent extensive time reading up about serial killers in order to play the Riddler. He found the experience so unsettling he made a point of reading the material in public places as he couldn't bear to read it at home on his own. There was immense controversy surrounding Robert Pattinson and his physicality of the lead role. Before the film's release, Pattinson made offhand jokes in interviews about how he didn't physically train for the role.
Yeah.
Some people genuinely believed that
They believed him and they got pissed off.
Yeah, didn't believe that he'd worked out for the film and were full of contempt toward the actor. It wasn't until the film's release that it was confirmed that the actor did, in fact, physically train for the role.
You can see it a little bit. He's not like buff.
Well,
or
no,
anything.
I mean, and that's kind of another reason that I liked it. You don't see this just
because he's
beefcake,
supposed to be a younger Batman,
Yeah.
like in his early first couple years,
Yeah.
you know.
In case that Robert Pattinson wasn't interested in the role or it didn't work out, the studio looked at Nicholas Hoult for the role of Bruce Wayne / Batman. The fact that Robert Pattinson had deliberately issued tentpole movies since his Twilight days and had never done a Marvel movie made him particularly attractive to the producers for the role of Batman. After Batman brings his evidence back from his walk through the mayor's murder scene, Alfred takes a copy of the cipher upstairs into the Wayne residence and starts to work on it. When Bruce comes into the room where he and Alfred are expecting the accountants from Wayne Enterprises, he sees Alfred working on the cipher and asks what he's doing. Alfred replies that he's reliving his life in the circus. This is not meant to be a pun on the actor's name, nor was Alfred a circus performer, which would offer no great help in cracking a code. Alfred is not referring to his days with a traveling circus, but to MI6, the British Secret Intelligence Service, where he would have had a good deal of experience breaking codes during the Cold War. The informal nickname for MI6 established in Le Carre's novels about it is the Circus. Alfred was in the MI6 and then worked for British intelligence, according to many sources in the comics and film. Warner Brothers refused to allow the Penguin to smoke his trademark cigarettes. Colin Farrell pitched the idea of chomping on cigars as seen in some other scenes and other iterations of the Penguin. However, the studio turned down this idea as well, citing that children would potentially be watching the movie.
So what? It's a PG-13 movie. It's a fucking cigar.
Yeah. Matt Reeves and Tim Burton are the only filmmakers to have helmed films in both the Planet of the Apes and Batman franchises. Batman's full real name is Bruce Thomas Wayne. Robert Pattinson's middle name is also Thomas. The creators of the Batman comics say that Bruce Wayne's first name came from Robert the Bruce, the Scottish king.
Pretty funny. It's a sign, Robert.
Yeah. At one point, Gordon wonders whether the Riddler will come after him for working on the Maroney case, only for Batman to assure him that he has nothing to worry about because he's not corrupt. As it turns out, despite what the Riddler thinks, neither do Bruce Wayne or Bella Real. Both are innocent, and thus are spared. Laser-guided karma is at work here. This also applies to Thomas Wayne, and to a lesser extent Martha. However, whether he intended to or not, Thomas Wayne caused a man's death through his foolish attempt to employ a violent criminal services for his own ends. So death is in turn visited upon him. And while Martha herself was not responsible for either her mental condition or Thomas's actions, it was her name that the reporter was murdered, and karma is not always forgiving. It even applies to Alfred to a degree. He did not support Thomas's idea of hiring Falcone, but neither stopped it nor revealed the truth. So he doesn't die, but he does get quite a bit of pain visited upon him. Director Matt Reeves stated that the film blended the detective, action, horror, and psychological thriller genres. Reeves further expressed that this is more in conjunction with the atmosphere of Batman comic books than the previous Batman film adaptations. Riddler's hideout across from the Iceberg Lounge and him taking pictures of it can be spotted roughly 30 minutes into the movie. It has been much discussed that the Riddler in this movie is somewhat different from the standard depiction as an egotistical narcissist who wants to prove himself superior to Batman. While that's true for most of the movie, by the end, it's arguably not so much. Before he reveals that he believes himself and the Batman to be brothers in arms, the Riddler comments that people won't forget or ignore him from that point on. Quite an egotistical comment from someone who apparently just wants to expose the corrupt underbelly of Gotham. Then, when Batman rejects him after his breakdown, he spitefully taunts Batman that he won't be able to stop his plan and will be crushed by it if he tries to. Only to watch enrage as Batman, while not exactly stopping his plan, nevertheless thwarts his scheme to assassinate the new mayor and make things worse. Saves as many people as he can, establishes himself as a hero to the people of Gotham rather than just another crazy vigilante, and overall completely steals the Riddler's thunder. If the Riddler didn't have motivation to prove himself superior to Batman before, he sure does now. This also means that this movie turns out to be an origin story after all, only it's the Riddler's origin story, not the Batman's. If you look at the Riddler's photos, they're all taken from the exact same angle, the same spot, the apartment window he shoots Falcone from. In fact, Riddler assumed Batman had figured it out and did it on purpose. Batman giving Coulson the answer to the riddle and not having the Riddler accuse Coulson of cheating seems like an out-of-character moment for the Riddler, until you remember that up until that point, Riddler believes that he and Batman are on the same side. With this in mind, the gang comes off more as an interrogation, with Riddler acting as the intimidating bad cop while Batman being the good cop. He allows Coulson to elaborate on his answers. It also adds another level of creepiness to Riddler's already giddy attitude during Coulson's riddles. It's not just that the Riddler is gleeful about the possibility of Coulson dying, it's probably because he's thinking Batman is playing along. Ironically, the Riddler's plan to flood Gotham would do exactly the opposite of his plan to target the rich and powerful through sheer fridge logic. The buildings most likely to survive are skyscrapers and penthouses, typically owned by the rich and powerful, whereas most buildings that lower income people would live in would likely be far shorter, dooming them to flood waters. This is best exemplified by the Penguin looking down at the flooded city from the safety and comfort of Falcone's newly vacated headquarters while the traumatized citizens are huddling on the rooftops waiting for the National Guard. That's it.
Good lord. There's a lot of trivia for that one.
There was a lot of interesting stuff about the Riddler, though. I couldn't help put that in.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so that was the Batman. That's a long movie. That was a very long
I told
movie.
you it was going to be long.
All right, let's see what we're doing next week, Pete.
Ace Ventura.
Yeah. We need a comedy now
Yeah.
after doing this one.
Man, there's shit.
Fuck.
Tremors.
That's a comedy,
I love that.
and it's a great fucking movie, too.
Yeah, it is.
Especially the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one we're going to do. We're not doing the other ones.
Oh, we aren't.
Oh, no, I didn't think so. Are we?
You told me to put sequels in.
How many of them?
All of them.
I would do
No,
the
I
second
didn't.
one.
Yes, you did. Last week when we discussed this, you said put the sequels in for
I would
movies that
do
had sequels.
Tremors 1 and 2, and that would be it.
Well, then I guess we should throw the rest of them away.
Did you put all of them in? Like,
Yes.
How many times did you put them in?
7 times. There's 7 sequels.
Oh my God, Karen!
You told me to.
I don't know about doing the sequels to the Tremors movies, dude. They aren't good.
I didn't say they were. I just did what you told me to do.
Like the second one, that's it. That's where you stop at.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but I wouldn't even do the second one. So Karen's like, "Fuck you guys." She's like, rolling her eyes, like, "God damn it! I put all
How
this
much
work."
time I spent over the weekend on this fucking podcast.
But we love you for it.
Mm-hmm.
So look at her frustration. She's turning red. She's gonna cry.
She's
Yeah, I got-
hot.
Oh, you're hot.
She's gonna kill us.
All right, we're doing Tremors next week. You got the synopsis, or okay?
Hit Candyman, Val McKee, and Earl Bassett can barely eke out a living in the Nevada hamlet of perfection, so they decide to leave town despite an admonition from a shapely seismology co-ed who's picking up odd readings on her equipment. Before long, Val and Earl discover what's responsible for those readings. 30-foot-long carnivorous worms with a proclivity for sucking their prey underground.
Yep. Shenanigans ensue.
What's
Yes.
it playing on?
I don't think anything. But I didn't look. Hold on. Your call is very important to me. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Well,
Nothing.
I have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Better figure that shit out.
Yep. Head down to your local Blockbuster and rent it.
I
right.
got bad news for you, man.
Yeah. What?
I probably own it. If
Okay.
you need, I probably own it.
They closed, Dad.
No, they
A
didn't.
lot of them did.
No, they're all
No, they're
closed.
all-
Yeah, I think
They're all
there's-
closed.
I think there's one like in Alaska or some shit, but
It's probably not even really a Blockbuster. It's just probably something that somebody called Blockbuster. Do they still sell VHSs?
I don't
Be
If
awesome.
know. I haven't
Probably.
been there.
Oh.
I didn't go.
I'd
All
like
right.
to open up one just for nostalgia for
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah.
All right, don't forget to check out our TikTok, our X, Facebook, and of course our Tumblr or Rumble. Tumblr. Why do I always say Tumblr?
You haven't in a long time, actually.
I know. Rumble and YouTube. Don't
You'll
forget
get
to
it
like,
back when we're
share,
done.
subscribe, comment, and don't forget to rate us on Spotify and all that good stuff. And yeah, so we'll see you next week when we do Tremors.
Bye.
Ha! I did it.
She
Did
did.
you get it, man?
I think she did.
She
Come
hit
on.
it. I don't think
That's
she
not
hit the lens.
This is bullshit. Oh, I went by it.
Oh.
Oh.
Here's look good. Hold on, I got
Yeah.
one more. Got one more.
Wait, give Eric one.
Nope, that's
Here.
okay. Gonna throw the plane.
Oh.
See, yours is plain suck.
Ah,
I
you
feel
got
like
it.
you didn't aim it right.
And they're all like, "Why are they?"
Your plane really sucks.
Your plane sucks.
Because I folded it down. It's just go. See? It comes back. It's like a
Oh, I
boomerang.
missed.
All right.
It's like a
Angled it down.
boomerang.
Until next week.
Perpetually 12 years old. Bye.
Bye.